Us for a second. Shabbat shalom, y'all.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom to the worldwide family. Peaceful Sabbath today as we get about our Abba's business. Y'all know how we get down. We ain't going to delay it any longer. We're going to turn toward Holy Jerusalem from whence our help cometh from.
That's right.
With the Most High's permission, in the name of His only begotten Son, Psalms 84.
Yes, sir.
How admirable are thy tabernacles, O Elohim of hosts.
Yes, sir.
My soul longeth, yea, even fainteth for thy courts, for the courts of the Most High.
Yes, sir.
My heart and my flesh crieth out for the living power. Yea, the sparrow has found an house, and the sparrow a nest for herself, where she may lay her young, even thine altars, O Elohim of hosts, my King and my power.
Yes, sir.
Blessed are they that dwell in thy house. They will be still, passing thee. Selah.
Selah.
Blessed is the man whose strength is in thee, in whose heart are the ways of them, who passing through the valley of Becca make it a well. The rain also filleth the pools.
Sir.
They have gone from strength to strength. Every one of them in Zion appeareth before Yahweh. O Elohim, Yah of hosts, hear my prayer. Give ear, O Yahweh of Jacob. Selah.
Selah.
Behold, O Yahweh, our shield, and look upon the face of thine anointed. For a day in thy courts is better than 1,000. I had rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my power than to dwell in the tents of wickedness.
Yes, sir.
For the Most High Yahweh is a sun and shield. The Elohim will give grace and glory. No good thing will he withhold from them that walk uprightly.
Yes, sir.
O Elohim of hosts, blessed is the man that trusteth in thee.
Hallelujah. Selah.
Yes, sir. That's Psalm 89. That was there. Shalom. Y'all. Once again, y'all, shalom to the worldwide family. Today's lesson, the spiritual face of Yah. So what we want to do is go over this lesson today to get some clear understanding of the consistency of the Bible. And when we talking about a spiritual face, God is a spirit, we must worship him in spirit. Does that mean he does not have a face that we'll be able to look upon? When we talk about worship him in spirit, we're talking about the elimination of corruptible flesh worship. You can't worship him like you would look at a man like ourselves that has sin and transgression. You know, the minimal, is the Messiah. He said there's only one good, and that's the Father.
Yes, sir.
Though he never sinned, he never did try to attempt to leapfrog the glory of the Most High. He's in the glory of the Father. So when he says, when you see me, you see the Father, y'all. So that's what we're talking about, the spiritual face of Yah. That face can be put on an individual. And men will tell you, I see the face of God in you. And what they're talking about is truth and righteousness. There's many forms to see the spiritual face of God, but it's always going to be related to righteousness. It will never, ever, he will never shine iniquity on your face. When you see somebody, you hear them, they got like a glow. We're going to go over the ones where Moses had the image of the Most High. It didn't mean he looked like his twin, but what we're talking about is an individual in righteousness and the Lord is showing favor to you, he will make your face to shine like the angels. That's the face of the Lord. And then he will show us his face, his true face, when we all are made one and evil has been put away. Because if anything happens before that, anybody see the true face of the Almighty, they're going to try to build an image to it. And that's going to push it into idolatry, and he's not going to allow it. So he'll allow us to see his face in many forms. But yet, when he describes himself, the body, the makeup, because he has face, he has ears, he has lips, he has a voice, he has eyes. So that's not just what you just call a spirit, something you can't see and you can only hear, you can only see, but we don't know what shape or form it's in. The Most High lets us know, I'm in the same form you are. The only difference from us is I'm immortal, what you fell from.
Right.
You can't get that back in this flesh. That's why I say you must worship him in spirit, because if you try to worship him in this flesh, it's going to be your own thought process. Right. You'll chase commandments of men, and when you start chasing this flesh, and it's dying. But that soul and that spirit intertwined, that's what he wants you to see, the inner man. See in beneath. Don't look at this. Right. Why you keep looking at something going to die? This ain't got no warranty on it no more. It's through. The warranty is expired on it. So y'all know how we get down. Before we move on, just want to send a few shouts out, especially to our family over there in the homeland, over in the parts of Ashkelon, Ashdod, all over there. Y'all, is war. The Edomites over there has just pronounced war on Hamas, the sons of Ishmael. The sons of Ishmael attacked last night, right after their form of the Feast of Tabernacles last day. They attacked it. Last time they attacked like that on a feast day was their Yom Kippur back in 1972. So they hit the same way, just like they just did there. Fired so many rockets, the Iron Dome over there couldn't stop them all. So it's a lot of smoke and chaos, but they say we finna put it on y'all. We gonna put it on y'all right now. So it's war in the homeland. Can't nobody move. We got family over there. We got our guy Israel. A few other brothers down in Ashkelon. See, this is what we're talking about when they're saying flee over here and go home. Well, every nuclear warhead is pointing over there. The nuclear warheads over here is secondary. That's world war. That has nothing to do with what's coming your way right now. And that's Hamas right on them grounds. You're in the thick of war, missiles, chaos is going on over there right now. So y'all look out there in the news, y'all see what's taking place right now. Also want to send shouts out to our sick and shut in, once again, our brother Roddy Rod, still recovering well. I believe he's actually driving a car. I'm not 100% sure. Our Ariel Ben Israel, he would have been here today, but told him don't rush yourself. Right. Don't try nothing, no setbacks. So he's not here, so he's taking that advice. He don't want a setback. Yeah. So he's recovering well. Some of y'all seen him still out there rapping on the line. Also, our brother Todd Shepherd is locked down right now. Keep some prayers going on for him. And we just want to continue to thank all our members out there that continue to walk one with us. And that's Sister Lucy Gray out there in North Carolina area. So if anybody out there, she's kind of looking for a family to worship with out there. That's our Sister Lucy Gray. I want to send shouts out to our Sister Soraya, Tasha Robinson, Lakeisha Giles, our brother Leonard Jenkins, and all our brothers, G. Montgomery. Y'all know who y'all are, but shouts out to y'all. Before we get going, because we're a little bit behind, we want to go ahead and get going. What we got any questions or concerns out there before we get started?
No, sir.
Okay, hold on, let's see what it say. Just checking the line.
No, we ain't got no questions or concerns in the chat, but I just want to tell everybody thank you for lifting up prayers for me and my family.
No doubt about it, bro. We definitely was praying for you, bro, that you and your brother got some relief, and I know it's a hard time, bro, but time heals all wounds,
yes,
truly.
Sir. Yes, sir.
And you understand this process, that death is a part of life,
yes,
so
sir.
We're preaching to the choir with you, but still, is still death.
Yes.
And death brings about mourning.
Yes, sir.
You know, so definitely, bro, thank y'all once again, as Tubai stated, to everybody that looked out.
Yes, sir.
What you got, sis?
I want to pray for my brother Mark. He's in
Brother Mark?
hospital, yeah. And-
Brother Mark right there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're gonna pray for Brother Mark. How you doing, Brother Mark? You feeling a little bit better?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
Land of the living.
Yes, sir. These will catch up.
And Ariel said Shabbat Shalom. He in the chat.
I figured he said if he didn't come, he was gonna be in there when I
Yeah,
talked
you know
to
what,
him.
so
And I got a brag on y'all moment.
brag on it, bro.
Hey man, I'm gonna make it real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak to the worldwide assembly and the family here. Most High is truly with us.
Yeah.
And we had proof of that at the feast.
Yeah.
What happened was, at my job, they let me off work so I can come to the feast. But they had me doing some extra hours, so which led me to have to pack for the feast overnight.
Yeah.
So I put my heater head with my heater, but
Yeah.
I didn't attach it with the tool. Get to the camp, get ready to light up my heater at night, and it exploded. Not exploded, but it ignited with fire.
Yeah.
Real large fire was in my tent, y'all.
Yeah.
You hear me, family? Most High is with us.
Oh,
The
right.
tank fell down 3 times and I had to pick it up to get it stable. Now the fire's still going on in my tent. My wife sleeps, she don't know nothing going on.
Boy, it's hot up
It's
here.
hot up in there, but she ain't not waking up, so I got the tent finally in position. And I'm listening to the Holy Spirit on what to do. The Holy Spirit is with us, y'all. He distinctly told me to put my hand in the fire and turn that valve off. I had to
Right.
do it 3 times.
Right.
Got that thing turned off and the fire went out. I have no hair. I still have my hair on my hands. I have no
Oh,
hair
yes,
loss.
sir. Yes, sir.
I got a little bump on my finger right here from the fire. But the Most High is with us, man.
Yeah.
Even when we
Oh,
make
praise.
mistakes, He with us.
Yeah.
The enemy cannot just for us, but the Most High and His entourage.
Right.
You know what I mean? We are covered. I just want
Yeah.
the worldwide family to know that, and in the home assembly, know family is with us. I mean,
Yes,
the
sir.
Most High is with us.
Yeah.
Yahoo, brag on Yah.
Yes, sir.
Hallelujah.
And like you say, just a little blemish just to keep it on your mind so it keeps it on your conscience. Always be
Yeah.
careful
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
fire and gas and anything like that that can create explosion. Believe me, I know it personally last year at the feast day. Never use match light again. Ever. Yes, sir. Eyebrows just coming back. Boy, I had the alien look for about a week.
I heard that.
Yes, sir. But today's lesson, y'all, the spiritual face of Yah. If you will, Zen, give me an image. Because of where we're going to start off at today. And what we're talking about is his spiritual face that can be shown on any individual. And you know it's his good works. You know, and people automatically say it. You don't have to tell them. They can say, it's like God is working through you. I can see it in your face. You know, and that's people, that's how you connect and you identify, but we need to know how that manifests itself. You know, and we're going to go through some scripture today on how he dealt with men coming to see him and how people saw the face of God on men. They're not God, but they see his glory and his power on those individuals. That keeps our faith and our hope alive.
Yes.
You know, that he deals with us like sons and daughters. Because if he didn't, you know, nobody would ever see it. But when somebody say, I see God shining on you, that's just a message of saying you're a child of God. That's how they're identified, the children of God, is by light, the children of the light. We got a lot of children of darkness trying to promote light out in the heavens, but this the deal. The consistency we gonna see is the same pattern. When you start hearing about ancestors and different things, or I saw my uncle or something, all you have to ask is a few things. Were they in the light, or did they have on white clothing? Normally what these people see, they're in the same dress clothes, they was in the same wickedness they was in.
Same way.
You know, so that's the difference. But in the latter days, those doctrines are coming. That where they're going to trick people based off of certain things. And they're just using little snippets and tidbit bites out of the Bible. But we're going to get to this understanding today so there's no confusion of the spiritual face of Yah. And what we're talking about is worship him in spirit. What we're talking about is worship him in his immortality state. And you can't reduce him to this. That's what y'all worship when you worship a commandment of a man. Dying flesh. And if you bow down to dying flesh, shame on you. So with that, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get this thing going. But Zeb, if you will, give me the definition of image.
Image.
Yeah.
A representation of the external form of a person or thing in art.
Y'all see that? Read that again, Zeb.
A representation of the external form of a person or thing in art.
See, so it's the external form. We got another definition in there?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The impression that a person, organization, or product present to the public.
See, so you look like what you're presenting. They say, okay, you're speaking of this doctrine of this image, and it's what's being represented. The Most High ain't gonna be represented with evil. Never. Right. So you have to be clear on what you're listening for if he's being represented with evil, with quick talk, fast talk, that used car salesman talk.
Say it again.
Because it talk fast and immediately you buy it, and when you get to the first stop sign, it cut off. You have to get it towed back to where you bought it from, and they say, well, you know that warranty was as is. As is, so was you. You know.
That means fix it yourself.
Fix it yourself. So, y'all, we got to be careful that we get a clear understanding, and that a lot of times we see here on earth that the Most High never have gotten off his throne. There's always been representatives that you see his face in those individuals. The top two that ever hit this planet, we know was the Messiah first, Moses, and then the prophets, which Moses was a prophet, that his face shone on them. Then they'll shine on disciples. They always shine on children. Because he says, we'll get a little bit of that, where he says their angel is bearing their face before God all the time. The face of God to him says, so be careful how you deal with children.
Right.
You know, you have to be extra careful because they have angels that's dealing with them, that protects them. They're innocent. And a lot of people say, well, children die. Well, the flesh is marked for death. Children, they're going to eat, whether they die at 6 months or they die at 60 years old, that flesh is still dying. But if they die, they instant slow. Mr. Y'all was out there? Y'all got any more out there?
A little bit more. You got a little bit more.
Somebody will give him a hand, not you, too bad. You got to work that. Okay, John got it. Okay, y'all, so we're going to go ahead and get at it. We just went through images, so we're going to do right what we need to get. We're going to roll through these, y'all, because we got several scriptures we need to touch on today. Genesis 1:26 and 27, so that you understand that when he made Adam in his complete image. He was immortal. We need to truly understand the way Adam was made. He was made immortal. Just like God's image, he was looked at like God on planet Earth. He was a God technically on planet Earth because he was the first son of God on this planet as we know it. His mother was Earth, and his father was who? The Almighty. So he doesn't have a physical father. Go ahead, bro.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and 23, and it says, God created man to be immortal.
Yeah.
And made him to be an image of his own eternity.
What did read that again?
Made him.
Start it all over. Where
Yes, sir.
Started.
What's the scripture?
This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 23.
Yeah.
For God created man to be immortal.
Right.
And made him to be an image of his own eternity.
So we see a representative of what he offers. So you can't be his representative if you're in the image of Satan, the devil.
Right.
You don't look right.
You don't look right. You know, see, and like a lot of times you can see darkness on an individual. And you immediately say that's the face of the devil.
And wicked can see the spiritual light on you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It'll run from the
Have
light.
you come to torment us before our time?
Yes, sir.
I've
Yes,
heard,
sir.
I've
That's
heard
what the wicked
people
see.
say it all the time, like I can see your innocence.
Yeah. So let's get it, y'all. We ain't gonna belabor. We're gonna match this all up so we get clear understanding today, the spiritual faith. But this is what I want to do also. Zeb, if you can, give me the definition of natural. And then we're gonna go to preternatural. And then we're gonna go to supernatural. And this is gonna help us understand the spiritual face of Yah. Because he's not gonna reduce himself to die in flesh. Let's get that straight. He doesn't dwell in unrighteousness. He's not going to come down. He's not going to put his face on unrighteousness under no circumstances. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If you seen an individual that maybe he's into some other wickedness now, you know, and previously they were casting out demons, but now they're saying, I'm into a new form of the light, then you still have, especially if you're saying that was darkness, then how did you cast out demons? Who and what gave you the power to cast out demons when you were believing that that was the truth? So either you were lying then, right, or you're lying now with this new doctrine. One or the other, there's no middle ground with it. It's not hard, y'all. It's just sometimes we want to believe a lie. That's better for us. You know, just tell me smooth things, as the prophet say. Don't tell me nothing right. Right means I have to get my mind together. I don't want my mind to be together. I just want to believe what I want to believe.
Don't want to change.
Let's get it. Where you at?
Ain't got it.
Okay. I grab, what you grab? Natural?
Natural.
I get natural. Go ahead.
Existing in or caused by nature.
See, existing or as caused by nature. So we understand that that's the natural man, just born of the earth like Adam was. And a lot of times, you know, we see in the scripture, it says that Adam was made from the what? Dust, right? Dust is a remnant of dirt. So Adam was not a dirt man, Adam was a dust man. And when you look at dust, because it's the remnant of dirt, Adam was technically made from nothing or what? Like if you rake your hand across the TV and that dust is there, and you do like this, it disappears, that's dust. That's not a clump of dirt. Adam was not formed from a clump of dirt. He was formed from technically the residue of dirt, which is definitely can blow away in the wind. That's what most men return to. Dust. It don't say they return to dirt, do it? Have you ever read they return to dirt?
Dust.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. The remnant of that product. Because that's what you were formed from. Technically nothing. Dust. Shabbat Shalom, what was just out there. You know, the nothing part of it. And he formed a man from the remnant of dirt. Dust. And that's what you return to. Nothing. Let's get it, y'all. Genesis, you want to get a preternatural. Give me preternatural. Y'all, so we're explaining natural, preternatural, and supernatural. Adam was formed natural. Then he became preternatural because the Holy Spirit was put in it. Now, if he recovers his sin, if he had to stay, he would have moved to supernatural. What moves you to supernatural from preternatural is the keeping of the commandments. Like Enoch was moved to supernatural. You understand? It was called he was translated. He was put in a righteous, immortal form. He was moved to supernatural. You can look through all the people that were taken up, and he's the one that says he was translated. Elijah was not translated. He was taken up, but he was not translated. If you can understand the difference in the two I'm speaking. He was fully preternatural, but when you move to supernatural, Jasher, Jubilees, the book of Enoch, Genesis, the book of Jude, all of those talk about Enoch, separate the book of Hebrews from other men, and it's called translated. That twinkling of an eye. That's how Enoch was translated. Like we will, if we're found worthy, we will be changed in the twinkling of an eye. I'm from this corruptible to brand new supernatural flesh that can withstand anything.
Yes, sir.
Cold, hot, heat, elements, or whatever.
Yes, sir.
What you got over there, preternatural, Zed?
Exceeding what is natural or regular.
See, exceeding what is natural or regular. That's why when the sons of Adam, after the fall, and the spirit come on them, they exceed natural abilities. Like David killed a bear and a lion when he was 14. See, Samson beat a whole army to death with a jawbone of an ass. See, that natural exceeded to preternatural. But he couldn't extend the supernatural because he broke the rules of what would have extended him to that, you know, either in this life or on to the next life. But he failed greatly doing that because he broke every vow of a Nazarite. It wasn't no power in his hair. The power was in his obedience. Obedience was not to cut your hair. Had nothing to do with his hair. That was a disobedient move. He told what shouldn't have been. If you cut my hair off, well, he's only telling Delilah, that's my Nazarite power. I'm under a vow of righteousness. Nothing to do with strength being in your hair. Because men will be saying, men who bald-headed, that I can't get that spirit, I can't get that power of Samson.
I was through 15 years.
Well, look here. The jawbone, look, the jawbone of his ass is just that, jawbone of his ass for you. Go ahead, you got supernatural.
Shiny head.
You got supernatural? And y'all, these are things we have to know as we're moving through the Bible, because you know when something in Scripture is talking about it's in natural form, you need to know when it's in this preternatural form, and you need to know when it's dealing with supernatural. Anytime you're dealing with an angel or a fallen angel, you're into supernatural. Whether good or bad, it's still supernatural because demons can't die. Satan ain't got no grave, do he? See, even the giants, they have a grave. Thank you, Mom. Yes, ma'am. The giants, the offspring of them, still have a grave. Right?
Right.
Because we're digging them up, the offspring.
Yeah.
But ain't no grave for no demons. You can't dig up a grave and say, here lies Asmodeus.
Right.
Beelzebub right here. Died in 2015. Ain't no such thing. Supernatural don't die. So they'll supernaturally be tormented. They won't be able to die in those flames to relieve them of that pain and torture. They're going to have to live through it through eternity, just like they're still alive right now. So go ahead, Jeff. Supernatural.
Of or relating to an order of existence beyond the visible, observable universe.
Read that again, Zed, for me, if you will.
Of or relating to an order of existence beyond the visible, observable universe.
See, beyond the physical, it extends beyond that. It cannot be put down. So when you constantly keep hearing about UFOs, that should let you know that these are United States, Russia, thus their secret projects. UFOs can't crash. It's impossible for them to crash. It's impossible for a body that's supernatural to die. You ain't got no bodies. How you got supernatural in a vault somewhere and a spaceship that's supernatural that's crashing? I'm good, Emo. I got that one.
Okay.
I got that one. Go ahead, bro. That's good?
Of or relating to God or a god, demigod, spirit, or devil.
Y'all see what that says for supernatural? Read that again, Zed.
Of or relating to God or a god,
Uh-huh.
demigod,
Uh-huh.
spirit, or devil.
Or devil. See, Satan can't be put down. You can't kill him. So when you hear doctrine that the white man is the devil, that's a lie. The white man may be influenced by the devil, but so is black men.
Right.
If you want to look at color. Because Israel was black first, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Before you can even start to get with that, and we were in devilish behavior.
That's how we got here.
And he told the Pharisees, you are of the who? The devil your father.
Yeah.
Spiritually, because even though you Israel, you chasing supernatural that could lead you to supernatural death where there's no pardon. you will spend eternity where the worm never dies. And to make you understand that, you can throw some food away in a trash can on a hot day, and what you'll see the worms come up.
Maggots.
Covering the whole thing.
Maggots.
Would this, excuse me, how you are?
Very
Would
good.
this be you or me?
No, that ain't us. Hold on, let me see that.
Oh, no, that's
No,
the other guy.
yeah, that's the daycare, that's downstairs, yeah.
Oh, it's more
Yeah,
downstairs.
Yeah, no, yeah. We got the multi-bill contest, yes, sir. Yes, sir, so, Shalom, y'all, come on in that turn.
About Shalom, family.
Yes, sir.
You are, how are you?
Thank you.
About Shalom, man.
So y'all, that's what we wanted y'all to understand. So once you understand it from this perspective, that supernatural can't die. Y'all understand? That's why it's saying if you go to the lake of fire, you're back in your immortal flesh. It cannot die and the worm will not die. If you throw some old food in the trash can that's hot, you see the worms come out. Those worms eventually die. Those worms that eat you up in the lake of fire will never die. They're going to keep eating on you and eating on you through eternity. Because they're supernatural worms. They can't die.
He's an earthworm. Too.
Yes, sir. No, they ain't earthworms. Earthworms
Ain't
die.
no earthworm.
No,
Right.
they spiritual worms.
Right.
So let's get it,
The
y'all.
earthworm in the sun.
Yeah,
Through.
yeah, he through.
Right.
Genesis 1:26 and 27.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 26.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 and 27.
Good soup, Mom.
Thank you.
You ready?
Yeah.
And Yah said, let us make man in our image.
Now, see, we just went over image, what it does. A representation of the Most High.
Right.
So he's not creating anything in an imperfect form.
Right.
He didn't come down here and say, let's make him less than ourselves. Go ahead, Zeb.
And Yah said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness.
Uh-huh.
And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
Uh-huh.
So Yahweh created man in his own image.
Uh-huh.
In the image of Yahweh created he him.
Uh-huh.
Male and female.
Male and female.
Created he them.
So we get a clear understanding. So people say now, well, what's the female part of God? And then you try to do a different bunch of things and things that, but there's female angels. You have to understand that. There's female angels. Because it says those that die before Messiah, if it's male or female, it says you shall be like the angels.
Yep.
So what does she do, turn into a male? No, that ain't the case. Because what, Sarah gonna be Abraham's brother now in the kingdom? No, ain't no, you pick what you want to in the kingdom realm.
Right.
So you have to understand there's female angels, there's male angels, and he made them in that same form with that likeness, with that comparableness. And he just gave us one test. You have free will. Just do right. I didn't make y'all to be robots.
Right. She was like that.
Right. He never had to do that test you have to do now. Check this box so we make sure you ain't a robot.
Yes, sir.
Was none of that.
Right.
Get some more of that.
You just wanted to.
We finished that?
That was
Okay. Well, y'all, so we want to get there. We're going to move to this so you understand that let us make man, this three, and who was this let us? So let's get that 1 John 5 and 7. Yeah.
Right there, 1 John chapter 5, verse 7.
Yes, sir.
But there are three that bear record in heaven.
How many is in heaven?
Three that bear record in heaven.
So let us get our mind understood. The 24 elders in heaven, ain't it? So that would be 27 if you try to look at that or express it like that. But what it's talking about, the Godhead, the who has the power to deal with everybody else within that hierarchy. Three, and what are those three again there?
There are three that bear record in heaven. The Father, the Word, and the Holy Ghost. And these three are one.
See, so it's telling you they agree in one because they said, let us. If it was just the Father, it would just say, the Father say, I'm going to make a man in my image. But what he's telling you is all the components that I have here, that I created, going to work with me to create an individual on earth because we're in heaven. That's why I say the three that bear record were.
In heaven.
And go ahead and read that next verse for me there.
And there are three that bear witness in earth. The spirit and the water and the blood.
Y'all see that? See, so the three that bear record in earth are different from the three that bear record up here. So ain't no need in us trying to bring somebody down here on this earth for what's happening in the heaven. It tell you, earth witness what those three do. They're a witness to it. So that you can verify that there's three that bear record in heaven. And we're talking about different levels of heaven. We're going to get into a little bit of the second Enoch. And we're going to see where those three are located. Like some people get mixed up when that John 3 where Christ said, only the Son of Man has come down from heaven. It's not talking about the first heaven. It's talking about where the three are located. Enoch and them never went there. Elijah never was allowed to go to that level. Lucifer was not even to go to that level because it would have said there's four that bear record.
Would have said that.
He was below the altar, so to speak, the throne of God. See, we got the 24 elders there too. You would have to count them in. They're around the throne of God, but they are not in the consistency of that power head that moves everything. Let everything be done by two witnesses or at the most three. It's a consistency with the Most High. Go ahead. We done with that there. Let's get right to Hebrews 4 and 12. And this is going to tell us about the power of that Godhead, what it has power and capability to do. Four and 12. It's just a one-liner. Where you're going down to 15. We're going to read that out from 12.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 4, verse 12.
Yes, sir. Y'all, and what we're trying to do is separate natural, preternatural, and supernatural. These false doctrines out here, one breath they'll have you in natural, the next breath they'll have you in preternatural, and then the next breath they're telling you you're supernatural with corrupted flesh. We have to be careful. We have to be extra careful that you don't exalt yourself to supernatural with dying flesh. You got worms coming out of you.
Yes, sir.
When a man dies, if you don't go back, you go back, there's worms coming out of that dead body of that man or woman. Worms. That lets you know. Go ahead, brother.
Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12.
Yeah.
For the word of God is quick.
How is it?
Quick. And powerful. And sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit.
Of soul and spirit. So it's telling you they're different. They work so close together, but they're different power sources. Go ahead, what else to say?
And of the joints and marrow.
Of the joints and marrow. See, when it says cutting all the way through, the last thing is your joints and marrow, because marrow, or what we call bone marrow, is the middle of the skeleton.
Right.
See, the sword will cut all the way to the middle of your skeleton and straighten some matters out.
Yes, sir.
You get pain in your joint or you get a bone marrow disease. Do y'all know that's one of the most painful diseases you could ever have? There's no way you can scratch. Can't no medicine get out. I'm talking about bone marrow. Now some of us know what that is when if you just handle a chicken bone like that, you'll break that bone and be eating the marrow out of it. Let's get some more.
It says, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart.
See, and you see what it is? Because it's working from the inside, it's a discerner of your thought. It decides on what you're thinking. It can manifest or explain to you your thought process that you can't. Like Pharaoh couldn't figure out that dream he had. Was that in the flesh or was that in his subconscious when he woke up? He said, I can't remember what I dreamed and what it was about. So that sword said, I'm going to discern it to you. You got 7 years of trouble coming. 3 good years, you got this coming. But 7 years of famine is coming for you. Go ahead.
Verse 13.
Yeah.
Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight.
Uh-huh.
But all things are naked and open unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do.
All things are. He sees the inside of every creature that he created. He knows the thoughts of every creature. He knows the instincts of an animal and different things. And animals have instincts because they don't have souls. So we have to understand that, so they move off of instincts, and instincts are moved off the commandments because they're already equipped with how to deal with righteousness. Like a boy dog, if another boy dog try to mount on him, what happens? Trouble. If a girl dog do it, what happens? Trouble. Same with every beast on the field. That's instinct. But next, they'll mount up on a fire hydrant. They'll mount up on your shin bone. That's not them being a homosexual or a trisexual. They just wanted to try a fire hydrant. No, it's instinct. It's all they know is the pressure's on me and I'm being fruitful and I have to multiply. They just getting it off. Y'all have to understand, because that's the only thing they know. They work off of instinct.
We're gonna get that off somewhere else.
Yeah. See? Because they will, and you be like, man, do something about your dog. Oh, he'll be all right. No, he ain't, but man,
Ain't gonna be no more after that.
Right.
Do something about your dog, then right in the wall.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 14.
Yes, sir.
Seeing then that we have a great high priest.
What kind of high priest?
A great high priest.
Uh-huh.
That is passed into the heaven.
Is that an S on there?
Into the heaven.
See, that lets you know it's plural. It's multiple heavens that he's ascending through. Go ahead.
Jesus, the Son of God.
Uh-huh.
Let us hold fast our profession.
Right.
For we have not a high priest which cannot be touched with the feelings of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin.
Read that last part. Yet without what?
Sin.
See, so anybody denying the Messiah, you can fix your trouble and trouble, arguing and all that debate. And all you have to do is find where he sinned. The Pharisees tried it, and they sent him before a judge, and the judge said, I find no fault in this man based on your laws. Not Roman laws, but on your laws. I don't see it. Now, y'all tell me where it's at in y'all law.
We're gonna tell Pharaoh.
We'll tell Pharaoh on you. You know that's what they opted out at. We'll call Caesar right now and tell him. It's another man calling himself king against you. So look what they did. Right. They actually threatened Pilate to tell Caesar that Pilate was accepting somebody else's king, where Caesar was saying, you looking at somebody else's king other than me? And Pilate washed his hands at his point. He said, you Israelites are crazy. I'm done with y'all. Y'all do whatever you want. And then they asked for unrighteousness to be let loose versus righteousness.
Right.
Y'all understand why we cannot have these compound living in these compound camps? Because you'll be surrounded in a fence with that type of mindset that you will dictate righteousness and turn it into unrighteousness behind that fence.
How you gonna be a light to the lost behind the fence?
Or to the Gentile.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm
To
saying?
anybody. You just being a light to each other.
That's it. and it's darkness
Right.
because you start to make up your own rules.
Right.
That's right.
Let's get some up.
Verse 16.
Yeah.
Let us therefore come boldly onto the throne of grace.
To the throne of what?
Grace.
Uh-huh.
That we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need.
See, that's where we got to come boldly to the throne of grace, and that means acknowledging your transgression. You can't come boldly and don't acknowledge what you did wrong. Ain't no need in coming to the throne if I know I'm right. But boldly so grace may be shed upon you, and that which is mercy. Grace and mercy work together like the spirit and the soul. Noah found grace and mercy because he said, I'm going to allow you and the rest of your family on that ark. Y'all understand?
Yeah.
So grace has always been around. Grace ain't just showed up today. Grace has been throughout the Bible from Genesis to Revelation.
And in the book of Jeremiah 30, it said the children of Israel found grace in the wilderness.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's move on, y'all, real quick. 1 Corinthians 15. And this is where we're going to get into the understanding of the supernatural and preternatural. We'll get some good understanding, y'all, on what Paul was trying to explain to us. We're going to start about verse 38. Y'all, because what we have to establish is natural, preternatural, and supernatural. You cannot let nobody give you a supernatural scripture and make it for a natural man.
Right.
It just ain't gonna work. And then what happens when you can't answer that question? You know your next move? Water the Messiah down to a natural man because you can't make yours work.
Right.
Negroes having false prophecies, so then they'll lash out at the Messiah. Well, did the Messiah go to court? Did the Messiah plead guilty? Negro, you pled guilty. And you call yourself the Holy Spirit at the same time. You're the truth of God and you plead guilty? That means you committed a crime. Since when does the Holy Spirit commit crimes?
Break laws. Yeah.
It flees deceit.
Let's get some more, y'all.
I'm going to start at 33.
Okay, bro. Yes, sir.
All right, 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 34.
Uh-huh.
Awake to righteousness and sin not.
33 like
What's up? Mhm.
All right, verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
Uh-huh.
Awake to righteousness and sin not. For some have not the knowledge of God. I speak this to your shame.
Uh-huh.
But some men will say, how are the dead raised up? And with what body do they come?
So now we're getting into the thought process of, is there such thing as reincarnation? Or this your 3rd or 15th time around to get what right? You're already saying you're a God. If you're a God, what you keep coming back for? That means you're dying supernaturally. How you call yourself a God and you die? That's what David was saying in Psalm 82. You say you God, but you're going to die like who?
Like me.
So that lets you know, at best, you probably were preternatural. And look, wickedness can move to preternatural. You can move to the worship of a demon. And a demon will give you power. You're preternatural, but you're going to die. And he may make you think you're a God, but you're going to die like a regular man.
That's right.
See, so that's why we have to be careful of anybody that keep trying to say that I can turn this, was the worms eaten up, I can turn that back to immortal. You cannot. There ain't nothing on this earth that you can eat or drink that will do that, because that's what not turned it into that position. Disobedience turned that into it. Before they ever took any physical food, like you can say, they ate the fruit of lies.
Yeah.
That's what they gobbled up on. A lie. And you know a lie because the devil asked him, what did God tell you? The truth. What did he tell you? I can eat from the trees of the garden, but I can't eat from the tree of good and evil. Nor can I touch it. He said, why? For God know that your eyes open, you shall be like God. He never said you will be God. To try to be like God. The only way you should be like God is in righteousness.
That's right.
They were trying to be the image of God in unrighteousness. How you going to be the image of God in disobedience? That means you're going to be just like the one that's disobedient, that failed. That's going to be your God, the devil. All these strange books that keep coming against the Bible, all of their authors are Freemasons.
Yes, sir.
Well, King James was a Freemason. It ain't a document on this planet that you can see King James' name or initiated oath of him taking Freemasonry oath. Yes, there were Freemasons at the time running things that may have made him an honorary charter member, but that was on their situation. It had nothing to do with King James. King James ain't took no vows.
Right.
None.
Had nothing to do with him authorizing the translation of the King James Bible.
And he authorized, right. All he did was had it translated by the best scholars.
Right.
And if we're seeing Freemasonry and here it is of the devil, then he translated it so we could see it. And then he's more righteous than y'all are because he put his depths in it. But it's the same thing we heard earlier. King James is a fag.
That's what I was just.
Well, why did he have Romans 1:20 translated?
Right.
And Leviticus 18, if a man lies with a woman, Deuteronomy, then he's more righteous than you because he at least put his own crime in there if you calling him a fag. Just like if you saying Freemasonry, he put that punishment in there as well.
Yes.
So you ought to be glad if he's like that, he translated it right. But if Satan casts out Satan, he turns whole house down.
He sure do.
So that ain't in the Bible,
Right.
not for instruction. In righteousness. Shalom, my teacher. Let's get some more of this. Go ahead.
Verse 35.
Yeah.
Verse 36.
No, don't read that again. I'll cut you off.
All right, verse 35. But some man will say, how are the dead raised up? And with what body do they come?
Uh-huh.
Thou fool.
Thou what?
Fool.
Uh-huh.
That which thou sowest is not quickened, except it die.
Uh-huh.
And that which thou sowest not that body that shall be, but bear grain.
Uh-huh.
It may chance of wheat, or of some other grain.
Uh-huh.
But God giveth it a body as it hath pleased him, and to every seed his own body.
And to every seed his own body. Reincarnation states you can come back as Duke the German Shepherd. You can come back as a monkey in the zoo. Not only that, but these men that teach that, then they tribe jump. How you in the tribe of Naphtali, then you come back again, now you are a Judite.
Yeah.
No, he give it a body where it's supposed to be. Like Job said, in this body, he was pointing to himself. In Job 19:25 that we read, 3,000 years before us right now. In this body, I know I shall see my Redeemer. Stand on in the latter days on the earth. I shall see him in this body. Fully aware, and he was woke and he was alive. Was he not? When he made them statements. So he knew this same body, the only difference is this flesh won't be corrupt. But you're going to see Job as Job was. That's how the disciples in the Mount of Transfiguration knew that was Moses and Elijah. There's no other way. These camps teach that was John the Baptist was Elijah. Couldn't have been. Because they wouldn't have said, let us make 3 pillars, one for Elijah, one for John. They'd have said, that's John the Baptist right there. So y'all, these supernatural realms that the Most High would allow us to see, it lets us know of his power and his majesty, like when Jed read supernatural. Preternatural is what we would call a God-man. But that's as far as you're going to go. David was a God-man, so to speak. Samson was a God-man. Hezekiah, Josiah, Joshua was a God-man. Moses was a God-man. But they died like who?
Amen.
Let's read some more.
Verse 39.
Yeah.
All flesh is not the same flesh.
Uh-huh.
But there is one kind of flesh of men,
Uh-huh.
another flesh of beasts,
Uh-huh.
another of fish, and another of birds.
So we see there's multiple types of flesh. Go ahead.
There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial. But the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another.
So we're talking about heavenly versus earthly. He said there's different bodies. So you can't talk about supernatural and put it in a natural body form or terrestrial. There's celestial. That means that this body comes from the heavens. This body was created on earth. We're terrestrial, trying to become celestial beings that will dwell on earth. Y'all understand? Because celestial beings can come down here, but we can't go up there. Not in this body. That body has to be transformed to where the heavens, the celestial, will accept it. That's why they have to be in machines, because you can't breathe that air. What would we do with 300 degrees below zero? You can't go to the moon. You can't go to the bottom of the ocean. Look, we only baptized in this amount of water. It was 86 degrees, but everybody, whoo, it's cold.
You gotta bring that up.
See what I'm saying? But it was only cold, what we call an initial cold.
Yeah, once you was in it, you was good.
Right, first contact.
And what the most high,
First got in there, boy.
chilly, wasn't it?
Right, initial contact.
Wait a minute.
Right.
So what we're talking about, y'all, is the mysteries of God. Is the sun closer to the heavens or the earth?
The heavens.
That's what it said.
Well, let me rephrase that, because that's right. Is the sun hotter in the heavens or on the earth?
Earth.
No.
Earth.
How is that possible?
It's still out
How
in the heavens.
does heat skip this much of heaven?
Right,
Because
right.
mountains have snow on
Right,
them.
it's still in the heavens.
It was 97 degrees down there, but the mountains still have snow on them.
Right.
How are the mountains closer to the sun and the snow don't melt, but we got 97 and got air conditioning on?
Right, then you know what I think about too. They say heat rises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heat
yeah,
rises.
Yeah.
So it still should be warmer.
Up in the heavens.
It still should be no ice up there. But when you're in a plane at 35,000 feet, if that window got knocked out, everybody will freeze in the plane. Or you closer to the sun.
Yep, if you're in a plane, yeah.
How is that possible?
Right.
That's my father's business.
So, look, this is what he wants us to know. So he says that the reason I do things like that, I'm going to show you everything in the heavens on earth. There's something called an invisible borderline on earth that lets you know when he says, I separate the waters from the waters, there's an invisible barrier there. The Atlantic Ocean will never cross into the Pacific. There's no net there. Right now,
They know they bored.
y'all got y'all smartphone. Google the Atlantic Ocean will not cross into the Pacific. There's a border there. You can see both waters like this. You can do a paddle like this and make them go across. They will not go into each other. They try to say, well, it's the salt content in the one. Well, they tried, they test, and they put salt in there, and then they're like, well, uh-oh. Well, we putting it on top of each other so that work. Let us try to put it side to side.
No.
Test don't work. They like, we stumped. We don't know how the waters are divided from the waters under the firmament. So you can understand how the waters are separated in the heaven, because you can't explain this on earth. What you looking up here for? You ain't gonna really be able to explain that. Just tell me how they do that. And I just need somebody to Google, if anybody can Google it and show somebody on what we're talking about, is those waters will not mix.
That's my father's business.
It's even when as big as the oceans and seas are, they still.
You got that on there?
Yes,
I've
sir.
seen that, that's deep.
They still will only come so far before they go back out.
Well, that's even on the borders, but I'm talking about when he divided the waters from the waters. When he divided, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Dividing the waters shows us that. This will never, scientists can't figure that out. I don't care how you run a ship over them, they know we can't mix with each other. We're like all in water. We will never mix because God commanded us not to mix. And this same process separates the waters that's in the heavens. The same process. There's nothing between it but an invisible barrier. Because they're under commandment. If he tell you don't cross and then put a border in there, then you're forced not to cross, right? A commandment tells you, look,
Right.
the commandment tells you,
Right.
a commandment told them not to do it and they kept it.
Water keep the law better than you.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Look, when they tell you don't come over here from Mexico, what they had to do, they had to put a physical board up there.
Right.
But yet they come to Canada.
Yeah, but they'll come through, like I say, they'll still, but like I say, you got border patrol or whatever. But what I'm talking about, physical borders. Well, I'm talking about a supernatural border. He tells us what line we can't cross. Don't cross over into the line of the devil.
You're right.
You can't mix tares and wheat. You cannot mix them together.
That's good.
Let's get some more. Where you at that? Verse 38?
No, verse 41.
Okay.
Verse 41.
Yeah.
There is one glory of the sun,
Uh-huh.
and another glory of the moon,
Right.
and another glory of the stars.
Brother Daniel.
For one star differeth from another star in glory.
See, one star different from another star of glory because stars are set up to do particular work. The North Stars control this area. Other stars are celestial beings, they're constellations, they're Mazzaroth and Orion. They have a different duty to do. Is it like the administration of Christ?
Yeah.
First apostles,
Right.
then prophets, then teachers, then evangelists. Everybody has their own work. Everybody can't be a prophet.
Come on.
Everybody can't be an apostle.
Come on.
So he's telling you, but they all work that same thing, right?
Yes, sir.
The ocean work what it's supposed to do, but everything in the ocean plays its part. Who the only problem we got problems with there? Man!
See, Brother Daniel.
Trying to mix everything and get into territories where he ain't supposed to. And let's get it straight. When you hear people say, well, angels left their first estate, that means they were sexless. Where you ever read that me and angels was made like Ken, the dial, and Barty? Barty got all her parts, don't she?
Yep.
Why Ken ain't got his parts? See, that's what they try to make an angel like, to try to justify that scripture to say they couldn't have had sex with women. That ain't what it says. If we're going to be like them, that means you will be sexless in the kingdom. How is that possible?
I had a Ken and Allen doll. They had a little bump.
What happened? What'd you say? A little bit bump, right, little bump there. But that was just so, if wickedness get into you, you wouldn't put them together, you know, because that stuff will happen to young children. But what I'm just saying is, what they try to do is make you think that something, this is how I answered that scripture. Well, these gonna cause you a problem. These gonna always cause you a problem in how to understand or to identify that. The script will cause you a problem with that thought process. Read some more, that.
Verse 42.
Yeah.
So also is the resurrection of the dead.
See that right there? See, so now we get back to verse, some men will say, how are the dead raised up, verse 35. So he says, I'm talking about resurrection. Is resurrection different from reincarnation? See, reincarnation, you come back as anything. Resurrection, you come back as the same person you are. So Christ ain't never said reincarnation not once. He says resurrection. You're not going to escape your punishment by coming as somebody else.
Right.
Like man, he up there judging me 400 years ago. I'm back here.
You can't see me as
You
this
can't
dog.
see me back here. You can't see me as this German Shepherd. You don't know this me.
You can't see this.
See, that's the level of foolishness
Yeah.
when you chase reincarnation.
You smell the wickedness in your flesh.
Boy, look here. Go ahead now.
Verse 42 again.
Yeah.
So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in incorruption. It is raised in incorruption. It is sown in dishonor. It is raised in glory.
Uh-huh.
It is sown in weakness. It is raised in power.
Uh-huh.
It is sown a natural body. It is raised a spiritual body.
Uh-huh.
There is a natural body and there is a spiritual body.
Y'all understanding what it's saying here? It's saying that in this natural body, we will be raised spiritual. Whether it's wickedness or is righteousness. So spiritual don't mean 100% righteousness. What spiritual mean is it's a form or essence of a being that cannot die a natural or physical death. So when you die in corruptible in this dying flesh, you're going to be raised incorruptible, and it may be right to the lake of fire. You just went from corruptible flesh to incorruptible flesh, so to speak.
Right.
Your terrestrial was corrupted, and now your celestial is corrupted. Does that make sense? Let's read some more.
Verse 45. And so it is written, the first man Adam was made a living soul. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
So we're talking about the two men that are truly the only people that can technically say we're the sons of God. Because who's Adam's dad? And see, men will run you these camps to Hebrews 2:15 and 16 and will say, see, can't no man be formed no other way. It has to be a woman and a man. Well, who's Adam's daddy? We know who his mother is. So how you not going to believe the Messiah? How he was birthed? He has the same natural mama as Adam, and both of them have supernatural daddy. It's the same daddy. That's why they're truly called the sons of God. And notice it don't mention nobody else in this realm of immortality and immortal. It didn't put David in there. It didn't put no man in there. It put the first two, or one who caused the problem, the other one who's going to clean it up. But he was always there. Let's get some more.
Verse 46.
Yeah.
Howbeit, that was not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural, and afterward that which is spiritual. The first man is of the earth, earthy.
What is the first man?
Of the earth, earthy.
The
second man is the Lord from heaven.
Clear, ain't it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
As is the earthy, such are they also that are earthy. And as is the heavenly, such are they also that are heavenly. And as we have bore the image of the earthy, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption.
See, that's why I say spirit has that. And spirit is immortality thought process. Flesh and blood can't enter the kingdom because this dying flesh can't enter. That's why I said neither can incorruption or corruption inherit incorruption. It cannot, because you're dealing with two different sources. One is evil and one is good. They cannot dwell together under no circumstances. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 51.
Yeah.
Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed.
See, we shall not all sleep, meaning some people going to still be alive at the second coming. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. So the dead and the living will be changed. Everybody going to get in on that process. But one half, we should not everybody will die in this world war. Not everyone will die at the second coming because of Isaiah 4th chapter. It always say those that are alive and remain. That's a different group. That's the group that has to be changed in the twinkling of an eye. That's the group that will repopulate Israel.
Yes, sir.
That's the group then, because there'll be more women left than men. But we got to get the world going again in righteousness to understand that process. Spiritual righteousness, children born in righteousness, not born in wickedness, like David said in Psalm 51. I was shapen in iniquity. That don't mean I was born in sin. What he's saying is my chemical makeup, I was formed with dying flesh. That won't happen no more. In the twinkling of an eye, children will be born like they should have been before Adam sinned. Let's get some more.
Verse 52.
Yeah.
In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump.
At the what?
Last trump.
Y'all see when this going to take place? See, the Bible is clear. At the last trump is going to take place. So we know this going to happen at the end of time. Go ahead.
For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible. And we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
No, read that again.
And this mortal must
read 53 over.
Oh, 53. All right. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
See, it said it must happen. There's no in-between line. So when you hear somebody talking about a camp and they got mortal and immortality mixed together in the same compound, you're mixing oil and water. It's something that's not going to work. It's like flicking a booger in the greens. Can you pick the booger out and the rest of the greens still be good?
Nope.
Huh?
Ruined.
Look here, you know how it is. If somebody like to talk while they eat and spit some food right here,
Right.
you like, will you shut up? You don't want to do like this. They see it on you. They don't even say it, my bad. They just keep talking. And you just feel like it's burning like a hot coal. You like, how is that piece of corn burning through my jaw now?
It won't end.
Boy, it won't end. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 55.
Yeah.
No, 54. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory.
See, so this is the only way you're saying there's no more death. See, so until this happens, any talk you hear of making this incorruptible, you have to measure that to a certain line. Yes, it'll get you to at least 70 if you follow the good. Yes, eating good in this flesh and drinking the right things will get you extended life, but it can't get you eternal life. It cannot. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 55.
Yeah.
O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law.
See, law, and they all tied together. The strength, the sting of death is sin. It stings bad. And the strength of sin is the law. To recover from it, to overpower sin, the only thing that can do that is the law. And it's Paul again, ain't it? So how do men say, Paul say the law is done away with? Where they getting it from?
I don't know no better.
They can't know no better. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 57. But thanks be to God, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast.
Be ye what?
Steadfast. Unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
Be steadfast, y'all. There's going to be a lot of things come up on these last days, y'all, that's going to try to shake your foundation. But be steadfast, y'all. Don't go for the okie doke. Anybody talking about you're in preternatural or you're natural form and now you can be supernatural by eating some grapes? Don't believe it. Be steadfast because it ain't going to happen because the person that taught them got a gravestone.
Thank you.
Shouldn't that tell you?
You're easy, great.
What you got, Tom?
What you trying to say? You trying to say don't go for the cougar or the bear outside your tent?
You said that. You said that.
You must want somebody to talk
Tell
to
them
you
about
about
that.
I think he does.
We'll get on that later. TBT.
Yeah, y'all heard about that? Yeah, we heard about that.
Well, it's real.
No.
What is real?
You never know life.
He did like David did.
Yeah.
No, he ain't
No,
like
he did
that.
opposite. He ran.
Oh my God.
Ass is black, brown.
Let's kick it up, y'all. Ephesians 6:9. And y'all, once again, we're talking about the form of God. This is everything we're doing is being in His image. If you want to be around me, you can't be in a sinful body. I'm not going to allow you to be around me in that worthless piece of flesh. Isaiah, in the 6th chapter of Isaiah, they said, come up here. He himself acknowledged. My tongue done said some dirty talk. I was doing some back alley talk the other day. I'm not worthy to come up there to even open my mouth in that rain. And a hot coal was sit down and put on his tongue and cleanse what he identified as my bad zone. Everybody should know their bad zone. You know what's troubling you. If you can't get your zipper up, you know that part of your body is troubling you. If you think you're thinking crazy, you got to get your head right. You can't stop stealing, you got to do what they say, cut your hand off. And that'll stop you if it has to come to that, or can you stop it up here?
Right.
See, and y'all have to understand, when you just see grown people sitting at the little kids' table, that's because this hand has been cut off. This is the hand that you pass food with, the right hand, because most people wipe their rear end with their left hand. So you can't be passing me no biscuit.
Right.
Because I'm going to be looking, if this hand can't do nothing but hold donuts, and you pass me a biscuit, you supposed to be at that table. Let's get some more, y'all. Where we at?
Ephesians 6.
Huh? You want to go to 9? Huh?
No, that's where you said.
No, I said Ephesians. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to Ephesians 6 and 9.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We ain't getting out of that leader, but
We just want to get right to the heart of the image of God. Yeah. And seeing what we're talking about, does he have a face? Because this new doctrine is saying, how do we know what God looks like? How do we know he looked like a man? Everything we're reading so far, he said, I created you to look like me. What does that look like? Who does a man look like? He said that looks like God until he sinned. Now, even though you still look like him, but you look like who he threw out. You look like what he threw out now. You got to change that look while you still have breath in your body. You can change that look, because if you die with that look, you're going to be supernatural, and you're going to die like him supernaturally. Yeah, you'll be a God, but you'll be a God in the lake of fire. Let's read some more.
Ephesians chapter 6, verse 9.
Yes. Go ahead, Zeb. I'm not going to catch up with you.
And ye masters, do the same things unto them, forbearing threatening.
Where you at?
Ephesians.
Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Yeah, you say that. Go ahead.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, you know.
And ye masters, do the same thing unto them, forbearing threatening, knowing that your master also in heaven, neither is there respect of persons with him.
Yes, sir.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Most High.
See, we keep reading that again, strong in him. You can't be weak in him. You can't ask him, you can't be like, yeah, I know the Lord with me, man, but just sometimes, just get weak, man. Sometimes nigga just, no, you cannot. The devil will have you. Ain't no fear around the Lord.
That's right.
Go ahead, bro.
And in the power of his might,
Put
on the whole armor of Yah.
So Yah has an armor. Go ahead.
That ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
See, what can't enter into heaven? Flesh and blood, right?
Right.
Our battle ain't with no flesh and blood. Our battle is with supernatural demons. Flesh and blood you can control. Especially if they out of control. A pistol or a pump shotgun will control most flesh and blood. But when supernatural come at you, try to shoot wildly in your sleep. When you wake up, everybody dead in the house.
Except for what you were shooting at.
How you gonna shoot a demon? If y'all remember the movie Ghost, when it wrote Boo on the mirror, Willie was shooting that mirror, ain't killed nobody, did he? Hit them steps, he hit the first one and was at the last step. And went out there and they had their way with it. See y'all, they understand what we're saying. You have to be strong in the Lord, and we keep talking about in your mental game. In your mental game. While you're on earth, you can become preternatural. You can become preternatural because the Holy Spirit dwells in you, you've become preternatural. Paul put his hand in that fire getting wood out and a cobra bit him. And he just shook it off. And they say, this man's a what? They said he's a God. He said, what man could a triple cobra I'm just making up something now. But I'm just talking about something with a lot of venom. Bites him, he shake it off and keep getting wood. And they say, got to be a God because the sea tried to kill him. He was shipwrecked. They in her, and he still ain't that. This man is a God. He said, y'all losing y'all mind. Because I'm on a mission and I'm staying fast and I'm coming to the mission. And they say these men were barbarians. That means they didn't have no doctrine that they follow. Anything goes. They're like men that say, I'm pansexual. No, you're a trisexual. That means you'll try anything. That's what pan means. They said, we'll try a dog, we'll try a horse, we'll try male or female. We'll put Pan on, don't matter. Because when you look up Pan, he's having his way with a goat.
Yes.
Freemasonry, if you look up Pan right now, look up Pan and the image of Pan and the goat. And it's not for children to look up, so get them out the room when you look up it. But they have a goat on his back with his legs up in the air. And that's a right to Freemasonry. Riding the goat.
Right to wicked.
That's what that means.
Wickedness.
You look up Pan and the image of Pan and the goat and see what you get.
That's what Wayne Brady said he was.
That's what he said now. After Dave Chappelle got him his strength back. Because you know Paul Mooney said, what's his name? Wayne Brady.
That's enough.
He said, what's the sportscaster?
Brian Gumble.
Brian Gumble make
Wayne Brady make Brian Gumble
look like Farrakhan. He said he's so weak, he made the weakest man look like Farrakhan, so to speak. Wayne Brady was salty about that. So Dave Chappelle run a skit where he's now playing a hardcore player, pimp, he got his respect back. 2 weeks later, now he's into Pan. I don't know what I really like anymore.
Jesus, boy.
That's what he said.
That means I don't know. I'm not off limits to any sexual behavior.
He said if I'm attracted to a man, I can be attracted to a woman.
And you know that means a child too? It's a child, a donkey. He's a trisexual. Try anything. Go ahead, brother.
Wow.
Verse 12.
Yeah.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
That's our battle, y'all. This armor is not going to get it. This armor can't deal with a demon because he's supernatural. How you gonna kill a demon? This flesh and blood cannot deal with that. You have to go into your immortal being, called your soul, to get rid of that demon. It's the only way you can deal with supernatural on that level. You have to fight supernatural with what? Supernatural. But if you play with supernatural, they'll have their way with you. When you reduce back to natural, that's when they have the mastery of it. Because you can't turn them loose at that. You're like, all I needed you were for just to give me some money. They're like, no, we don't play like that. We yours for life. Go ahead, read some more, Zed.
Verse 13.
Yeah.
Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of Yah, that ye may be able to withstand the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness.
See, so is loins part of a man? It's part of a beast too, but we're saying we started off as a man. Spiritual wickedness up there, so we know the loins. He's talking about have your loins girded about with truth. That means your loins, this area down here that Satan caused the first sin in the garden, this area down here.
Yes, sir.
Must be girded with truth. Now you also have loins in your mind.
Yes, sir.
Because you have a visible image of the immortality. Your immortal soul is in perfect state. Every soul is in perfect state. The flesh is what's corrupted. It's why people you may say that's mentally challenged, we used to call them retarded back in the day. Mentally challenged, their soul is in perfect state. That's why they only know two things, people that you call crazy. They'll either say the devil thing or I'm God. There's no middle ground. It's either good or bad. It was the only thing, because they're only talking from their soul because their flesh is beat up. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Their mouth may be beat up where they can't talk, but their soul will only do good or evil. Because it can't be manipulated into rub. It's why he told Satan, you can attack Job's flesh, but you can't attack what? His soul. You know, no, you can't play in that playground. Not in that playground playing. He's like, okay, I'll just beat up his flesh then. And that's when he put the disease on him. The only thing will come around that had mercy on him was what? Dogs did what?
Licked his soul.
Licked his sores. Because dogs lick their soul.
Right, right.
So, ain't no need you kissing a dog in the mouth unless you got a sore in your mouth.
Still don't do it.
No, right.
I'm just saying, if the dog licked his sores and cured him over, if you got a fever blister over there, I'm just saying, if your lips perfect, ain't no need you kissing a dog in the mouth under no circumstance. Because same thing, but why you letting them lick your sore like that? But I'm just saying from a healing perspective, you know what I'm saying. So, if you got, I'm just saying, if the dog licked his sore, he could have had a sore on his lip.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
Y'all understand what I'm saying? Let's get some more.
Thank you for the explanation.
Verse 15.
Yeah.
And have your feet shod with righteousness. I'm sorry. And have your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace.
See, that's what your feet have to have, the shoes of the gospel of Messiah. Ready to walk to say the good news. That's what gospel means, good news. Messiah is coming back to fix that Adam broke. That's the gospel. Your feet got to be ready to go tell everybody. Walk to go tell everybody. That had to be on your shoe. Now, you can't walk with that gospel and you serving another God. You don't have your feet shod with the gospel. Your feet are shod with wickedness. And you're ready to go march somewhere else and teach wickedness. See, this is an armor of God. It's got a helmet, it's got a breastplate, and it's got shoes for it. You understand? So what is that in the image of? A man. Even Satan, that Babylonian image, that the stone cut the feet off, it was still in the image of a man, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just evil men, an evil kingdom. Let's get some more. And see, their feet, notice what Christ hit the first thing, he hit the feet. Because they're not spreading the gospel. Feet wasn't shod with peace, it was shod with war. So the first thing you do, cut your feet off. What you gonna do now?
No.
You can't do nothing but jump on them stumps, can't you?
Right.
Really nothing.
Well, nothing. Absolutely. Let's get some more.
Above all, take the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked.
And you have to have faith when you go to sleep.
Yes, sir.
You have to say, Lord, be with me if the devil come to me in my sleep. Because you cannot sin in your sleep. You know when you're sinning in your sleep. Because you know when you have a bad dream. You know that something was evil in your sleep. You know it wasn't right. So what makes you think, as wicked as Jay-Z is, you can still have Beyonce in your sleep? It's still his wife, ain't it? Legally, ain't it?
Yeah, that's just wicked.
I'm going to show that Negro how to deal with a woman. I'm going to show him how to sleep.
Why she shaking and grinding
Boy, look
in
here.
his face naked?
And if she's shaking grind in your face while you're asleep, and you agree to it because you think no man can see me, well, we just read the Most High say, everything is naked to me. I don't see clothes, I don't see covers, I see what I create, and I didn't create y'all under covers. Did he create us and you one crying as baby? Was you under a blanket? Or did you come out with your birthday suit on?
What's your birthday?
Did we finish that it? Go ahead.
Verse 17. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahweh.
See, so you got to have that sword we just spoke about in Hebrews 4:12. That two-edged sword that cuts sharper than any sword. It cuts in your subconscious. It cuts while you sleep. You need that sword in your hand because you can't take that 9mm you just got from Cabela's in your sleep. You don't tell somebody, man, push that gun in my head, man. Just keep pushing. I need it when I go to sleep, and he just grinding in your head. Go ahead.
Yourself.
You go on up. I'll let you later. Shalom. Go ahead.
Good to see you, brother. They
Most high bless y'all
encourage-
too. Be safe, bro.
They encourage gospel gangsters.
Go ahead.
Verse 18.
Yes, sir.
Praying with all prayer
Uh-huh.
and supplication in the spirit.
In the flesh.
In the spirit.
Uh-huh.
And watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
So perseverance means to never stop. See, he said praying always in the spirit. Supplications in the spirit. See, you have to pray up here, not pray with this. Why you gonna keep praying temporary? This could go tomorrow. This ain't promised to us to walk out that door. But your soul gonna be still on the hook. Did we hold that there? Okay. So y'all, let's get right to it. We're gonna keep this moving. Isaiah 59 and 16, and we're gonna see if he told the prophets the same thing, because the Most High, he said, I want y'all in my image.
Yes, sir.
I want y'all to do everything like I tell you. I want y'all to wear my same uniform. How you got on a Pharisee uniform? Fringes long as jump ropes. Armbands and phylacteries. Crowns on your head trying to be some great one.
Sinning.
Looking good.
That's a different, you're dressing up the flesh.
Right.
And soon as somebody throw a 25 pack of Black Cat firecrackers behind you, you will split your pants all the way up to that rear belt buckle hole. And you got on all that gear. For what? Who you fooling?
War.
For war, right. No, you have to be ready for war when you naked. Because that's when the enemy usually kick in when you're in the bed. Don't
Yes,
they?
sir.
Do they kick in at 5 in the evening, or do they come at 3 o'clock in the morning?
6 in the morning, police everybody go.
And hope you just got through with
Catch
something
you tripping.
and your loins weak. And you ain't gonna have on no clothes.
Oh no.
That's your weakest state.
And they say, get up and we got you on camera.
Oh,
Who wants to fight next?
Boy, look at
oh,
that.
nobody.
And you know the camera there?
Can I put my clothes on first?
Yeah, they said, yeah, you probably need to because it looked like you've been swimming. Let's get some more.
I don't know what that means. I
Okay,
ain't trying to.
okay.
Isaiah chapter 49, verse 16.
59.
59, yeah.
Oh, my bad. My
Yeah.
bad.
Ain't nothing bad about
I'm off.
it. Nothing bad about it.
Isaiah chapter 59, verse 16.
Yes, sir.
And he saw that there was no man,
Uh-huh.
and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness, it sustained him.
Let's see how he was dressed.
For he put on the righteousness as a breastplate,
Uh-huh.
and a helmet of salvation upon his head.
Uh-huh.
And he put on the garments of vengeance for clothing,
Uh-huh.
and he clad with zeal as a cloak.
Y'all see he got on the same armor we just read in Ephesians 6 and 9. We got on the same uniform.
Yeah.
Look, you ain't gonna have on, if you're in the army, you gonna have on a Marine outfit?
No.
Not in the army.
Nah.
And the Marines definitely ain't gonna let you know with an Air Force uniform on, because they say y'all are lightweight work.
Come on.
Y'all ain't the grunt work. Y'all work in the office.
Come on.
You got any more of that? Yeah, go ahead and read them last two.
According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay.
Yeah.
Fury to his adversary,
Uh-huh.
recompense to his enemy.
Uh-huh.
To the islands he will repay recompense.
See, he gonna repay recompense. That means what you did, I'm going to pay it back to you, to your face. See, that eliminates that talk of karma. Karma means it could come back to you any kind of
Right.
way and people get it.
Right.
That must be karma because the tire flew off
Right.
on the highway. Well, did he loosen the bolts on somebody else's car? And they tire flew off on the highway. No, you're just guessing this is what comes as bad behavior. But he said, no, I'll return what you did to your face. So it's clear up here that you state this for what I did.
Right.
You make that determination, not another person. When he bring it back to your face, you know. Because he's going to tell you, I'm going to show you what you did. And then you see it perfectly.
Ain't no call.
There ain't no such thing as karma because it leaves the door too wide open.
Right.
Reaping and sowing
That's
is
it.
what it says.
That's
If
it.
you plot wickedness, it's going to come back on you the exact way you plotted it. No different. It ain't gonna come a different way to where men have to sit down and discuss with you, man. Well, maybe it's when you snatched that bag of candy from when you was in the 2nd grade. Maybe it's this. No. To your face, recompense. Exactly what you did, you get it exactly back.
Dangerous game.
Oh man, not to be played with. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 19.
Yeah.
So shall they fear the name of the Most High from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Most High shall lift up a standard against him.
Y'all see what's going to fight against him? The Spirit of the Lord. So when people are talking about spirit and flesh and they're just trying to label it to New Testament, we keep saying the Spirit is in the Old Testament. The Spirit was on Samson. He became mighty. And the Spirit came up over David. And Elijah called the Spirit and he ordered them she-bears to kill them bad children. And then you have men say, well, man, what kind of God called him to do that? The God of our fathers.
Yes, sir.
Disobedience is disobedience.
Yes, sir.
A disobedient child is exactly a disobedient child. And those were not what we would call children in their innocence. Children that know how to do that, and because grown folks are past their what you call puberty.
Right.
Children under that lower age, they know not to say anything to adults. There's something in them that tells them that's bad. But when you become a teenager and different things, you think you grown. Because boys don't start smelling they piss till they done already admitted what caused them to cleanse themselves. Young women don't start talking tough until they get into their foul. See, that's when you hear most women are calling another auntie, girl, I had to knock her upside her head, knocked her between the wash and dry, talking that noise and came by her own personals.
Right.
Y'all see where they put the range at? And men the same way. Up here talking this dog, talking about he a man and still can't wipe his rear end like he's supposed to. A tiger streak up his drawers and he talking about he a man. You don't know how to keep your drawers clean. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Those were the children that they send them birds after, the ones who think they grown already. Let's get some more.
You can't be talking to y'all chosen like that though.
No, you can't. But men will try to. 21 you at. Or 20.
And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgressions in Jacob, says the Most High.
He said, to those who turn from transgression. So ain't no chaff and wheat gonna ever mix. You have to turn from your iniquity. Go ahead, bro.
As for me, this is my covenant with them, says the Most High. My spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth, shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed's seed, for the Most High, from henceforth and forever.
So y'all see that's clear on what happened, because once it's internal in you, see y'all, this is how when you try to wonder, how can a child be born wicked? Y'all, this is all eternal. If you're conceiving a child in righteousness, most likely that child is going to follow that in that seed. That's why I use the word seed from the beginning of conception. See, Christ was conceived by the Holy Spirit. How you going to say Joseph is his natural daddy, and Joseph is saying, I didn't get her pregnant.
Right.
And I'm going to put her away. And these Negroes still saying, well, we're calling on him in an unrighteous conception. He's saying, it ain't my baby. Y'all gonna make it be his baby?
That what they doing?
Yeah.
He says it ain't his.
And then try to still worship the offspring. Look, and still try to say, I'm gonna worship that offspring in righteousness. And you're saying he's shaping in iniquity.
Right.
It's impossible. If that's the case, Abel would have fixed our problem. What you guys
Because the
say?
angel still had to shut the mouth of Joseph because he was going to politely divorce Mary in secret And the angel had to get his undivided attention and shut his mouth until he saw it for himself.
You know why? Because they would have killed her.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why he had to do it privately.
Yeah,
He
but
would still have
he was gonna
respect.
do it. He didn't listen to what God sent the angel to tell him.
Well, this the deal. If you come home and you're a man and you've been gone for 6 months and your wife is pregnant 4 months,
She
it's a
might
problem.
get beat up worse.
It's a problem right off the top. Because look,
Properly divorced.
right. See, so you can't properly divorce her because he's in trouble. You know why? They was gonna get him too.
Right.
He can't throw the stone at her alone. The bottom line is we put her in your hands for
Exactly.
safekeeping.
Right.
If she's pregnant, you're trying to get out of that, saying that's your baby. You're lying. That's why the Spirit came to him and said, don't worry about it, Joseph. Go
That's
ahead
it,
and take
Danny.
her to wife. We understand. And he said, okay, I'm with it now. But what he was trying to do, no, we're good. What he was trying to do is not bring shame upon that young virgin.
Right.
I'm gonna put you away privately. So now, go ahead, y'all, let's get some more. We finished with that there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get right to it now. Men called up to see that glory and see if the image is what we're talking about. Does God look like us? Let's read the words of men. So that we don't get this spirit and you just thinking a spirit could be anything. Her spirits could be in demons get into anything. Demons are still able to go back and forth from Satan always came amongst the sons of God, didn't he? Among the righteous angels.
Yes, sir.
What you here for, Satan?
Going
I'm
to
after
and
your
fro.
servant, this servant. I need to get at him and see if he really worshiping you or he like how you just protect him.
The whole five.
That's how he
Give him about-
tested. That's how he
That's
tested
how
Job.
he tests you. If he tested Abraham the same way, he'll test you the
He's
same
doing
way.
it now.
He'll
Yeah.
test you the same way. Let's get some more of this. Ezekiel 1:22. And we're gonna go to a couple men, Enoch, and then we're gonna go to men who see the face of God, or did they see a representative in the likeness or the power and image of God? Because if we say we children of God, no matter how you let that come out of your mouth, you're saying that I'm God-like, ain't you? So you're saying I'm in the image of God and how I move. Well, we need to really try your spirit, because he said you can't worship God in flesh.
Right.
So we want to see if your image is flesh or is it spirit. That's why he said try the spirit. He didn't say try the flesh, did he? Try the spirit. Go eat.
What do you want to do?
We're going to Ezekiel 1:22. And we're going to deal with a couple men that's called up. We're going to get right into the book of Enoch. And we're going to see how the consistency of both books that may not be in the Bible but mentioned in the Bible, they don't change. Standards, statutes, and judgments don't change. God is consistent throughout. He's not going to tell you you can do this in this chapter and then in this verse over here in the New Testament you don't have to do it. Ain't in the Bible.
My bad, brother. 15.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 1, verse 15. All right, the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1, verse 15.
Yes, sir.
Now, as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with his 4 faces.
Uh-huh.
The appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a bird.
Uh-huh.
And they 4 had one likeness. And their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. When they went upon their 4 sides, and they turned not when they went. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them 4.
So when Ezekiel is looking at this, he's trying to inform you of an IFO. Not a UFO, that's unidentifiable flying object. He's identifying the flying object. It's the flying object of the Most High. It's how his angels travel. Who's the pilots? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Be careful out there.
Be prayerful.
Be that as well, said. So he's identifying this flying object. You understand? So how do we keep getting UFOs? And the reason, everything around them is clear, but they can't seem to get the pixel right on that image that they call a UFO.
It's like
How is
Bigfoot.
everything else in HD?
Just like Bigfoot.
The Bigfoot, you can't even get a clear shot of him, but everything around him is clear.
Come on, man.
You got
Bigfoot
a
flying.
tent peg on the ground I can see in the bushes, but you can't get Bigfoot face clear.
He in the UFO. He flying the UFO. Bigfoot.
You right. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 19.
Yeah.
And when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. Whithersoever the spirit was to go, they went. Thither was their spirit to go, and the wheels were lifted up over against them. For the spirit of the living creature was in the wheel.
Y'all see that? So it's telling you they are the pilots of an IFO, an identifiable flying object. Go ahead.
Verse 21.
Yeah.
When those went, these went. And when those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them. For the spirit of the living creature was in the wheel. And the likeness of the firmament upon the heads of the living creatures was as the color of the terrible crystal, stretched forth over the heads above.
See, so now they have a likeness of the firmament upon the heads of the living creatures. So there is almost, you see that heavenly firmament over their head. But look, the only time the Bible deals with color is always going to compare it to an object so you can visualize the color.
That's right.
See, if you say all the Israelites were black, then you have to picture a whole tribe the color of your shirt, because ain't no black man on earth. It's some dark-skinned Africans.
Right.
But ain't nobody the color of your shirt.
No, sure.
And there's white people on this planet, and they may be pale as all, but nobody is white like a sheet of paper.
No.
So we have to understand he don't compare us, our nationhood, to colors. He compares it to an object that you can see, and we're going to see here what the color of object we're comparing it to. Go ahead.
Verse 23.
Yeah.
And under the firmament were their wings straight, the one toward the other. Every one had two, which covered on this side, and every one had two, which covered on that side their body.
So y'all have to understand, these are birds technically that fly in the heaven, under the heavenly firmament. Now in Genesis, it tells us that our birds fly under the firmament underneath that. They have a different firmament that they fly under, that they can only go up so high, that our birds, and they won't exceed that firmament on heaven. Because like in heaven, the same as what?
On earth.
So we got winged creatures up there that stay underneath a certain firmament, just like we have birds down here when you get into Genesis, when he created the birds, and they said he created them under the firmament of earth. You got birds can't fly in the firmament under that firmament of heaven. They can only fly under the firmament of earth. Make sense, y'all?
Yes, sir.
Let's read some more.
Verse 24.
Yeah.
And when they went, I heard the noise of their wings, like the noise of great waters, as the voice of the Almighty, the voice of speech, as the noise of a host.
Yes.
When they stood, they let down their wings. And there was a voice from the firmament that was over their heads. When they stood and had let down their wings. And above the firmament there that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne.
See, now it's telling you why those birds can't exceed that firmament. Because above their head, that firmament, they can't go that far. Just like these birds can't go into the next firmament. They can't go that far.
So you're saying each heaven got a firmament?
Each heaven got a firmament.
Okay.
So let's get some more.
Oh, no, sorry. Verse 26.
Yeah.
And above the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne.
What was the likeness of?
A throne. As the appearance of a sapphire stone. And upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness as the appearance of a man above it.
Like the likeness of who?
the appearance of a man.
See, y'all see what he was seeing in the likeness of a man. He looked like me that was sitting on the throne. So it's not no monster. It's not no invisible spirit. He said it looked like a man just like me. And it says the throne was the color of sapphire. If you want to know what the throne is, just look up right now, Google sapphire. You don't have to guess. You can just say, oh, the throne was that color. That's what he saw, the color of sapphire. Okay, I'm getting a visual now. Let's get some more.
Verse 27.
Yeah.
And I saw as the color of amber, as the appearance of fire round about within it, from the appearance of his loins even upward, and from the appearance of his loins even downward, I saw as it were the appearance of fire, and it had a brightness round about.
So it tells us his loins were the color of amber. Anybody look up amber right now? He said, that's what I saw. His loins were like the color of fire because he's full fire, but he still looked like a man. But it's because he's 10 times brighter than the sun. You know how you look at the sun and it's like fire. You see the sun is the color of amber, but he say from his loins upward and the loins downward because you can't see up here. You never see his face. I'll let you see my lower part and we get to that Exodus and it's going to say the same thing. You can see these parts, but you can't see up past here. If you see past up here, I'll have to put you down. I have to put you to death. So when he's saying the color of amber, what does amber say? Anybody look it up?
It looks like it's almost like a yellowish orange.
A yellowish orange. Or what we used to call
You got
back in the
different
day.
shades
They got a
You're the
range.
color of amber.
Yeah, it got a
Right.
range.
Shamal.
Yeah, it got a range.
You got a range.
Yeah.
shades in.
Like what we call
Yeah.
red bones or something. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
from that color on, that amber's color. So every time he describes a man in the Bible, he compares something to it that you can look and say, oh, okay. You know, it's like these people were as dark as the tents of Kedar. So all you have to do is go find the tents of Kedar, and then you can say, okay, that's how dark that individual was. See, because men will say Nazarites, and then they look at that, the scripture, the Edomites say, I'll get you on that one. Because it says Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than snow. So wait a minute. If they stop there, you got it. Right there, man, and say the Nazarites were whiter than snow. But if you keep reading, it say their visage or their face was darker than a coal.
Okay.
So you know, okay, so either they got a white body and a black face. Did that exist on earth?
No, sir.
We talk about mixed children, but they ain't like that.
Right.
Let's get some more.
That's right.
Verse 28.
8, yeah.
As the appearance of the bow that is in the cloud in the day of rain, so was the appearance of the brightness round about. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. And when I saw it, I fell upon my face, and I heard a voice of one that spake.
So this is Ezekiel getting his vision of what he saw up there. And he saw the levels, but he never said, and I was taken from level to level. Enoch was allowed and granted that even more because of how his love for the Most High was. I'm talking about where he like, son, I got to remove you or people will think you the Christ. He was that obedient
Pretty close up there.
that everybody else talk about him other than the other people that ascended. They talk about Enoch. He got that special translation. Paul didn't make it to the third level in 2 Corinthians 13. He said, I went to the third level of heaven and I saw some things so wonderful, I can't come back and brag on them. I told the Lord I won't brag on them, but he said, I'm going to make sure you don't brag on them. Every time you think to say I went to the third level of heaven, to make yourself look like you bigger than everybody else, I'm going to have Satan punch you in your side. See, it's like almost immediately when you burn your finger and you do like this. Why does the lake of fire come in your mind first before anything else? Look, if that hurt on your finger, think about that fire on the crack of your rear end. Let's get some more, y'all. Let's move it on up, y'all. We in good time. We're going to finish this on out. Enoch, 2nd Enoch, chapter 22. And then we go into the regular book of Enoch's 46th chapter. And once again, we're talking about men who identified what the Most High looked like and what was happening around that throne. Stephen, dying for the word of the Messiah, the heavens opened for him, the firmament opened, and he said, I can see it. I can see what Adam used to see before he sinned. You know, Adam could just do this, Shamar, and look up. Hey, y'all.
That's right. That's right.
He could see up there, but they blocked all of that from firmament because you can't see up here in that mindset. You'll think wickedness continually, and then you're going to want to come up here like Lucifer did. Lucifer was on that level, and he said, I want to go up further. You already up there. So that tells you there's levels of heaven. If he's already up there, where does he want to go to? I will ascend. Don't ascend mean to go up? If you already up there, you going up farther.
Right.
Let's get some more. What you got up there?
William Campbell in the chat, he asks, is that a cherubim that's being described?
The what?
Is that a cherubim that's being described? And that is what we just read.
Yeah, because if we start early on down, he'll say cherubims. He'll mention cherubims. When we just picked up Ezekiel in the what verse you picked up, 15th verse. If you start at verse 1, it'll kind of name cherubim and seraphim. Those are pilots.
Okay.
See, it's why, and they know it's pilots. That's why whenever they show you, like in that movie Signs, they show you the beast with calf feet. Because when he was looking under the door, when them beasts were running with calf feet, the only difference is they say we can kill him with water or Luther, swing Luther. No, baseball bat ain't gonna do nothing with supernatural. See, that's the foolishness they want you to believe that you can whoop supernaturally physically. Shit, he couldn't hit a baseball. How in the hell is he gonna whoop a supernatural being? You understand? He didn't even make it to the major leagues. He had the bat up there, but he didn't make it to the big leagues. But yet you can take that big league bat, a natural bat, and whoop supernatural with it. See, that's the level that they get you just that brief where you ain't steadfast and you ain't standing on the word and say that can't be.
Right.
And then you can destroy it with water. There's waters in heaven. We just read waters, didn't we? So how you gonna pour a glass of water that come out of tap water and what's tap water full of fluoride and stuff? Oh, fluoride kills a demon, huh? Get out of here. You understand? But that's what the movies will do based off of what they read. Will Smith, when he finally got this so-called crash alien, the alien that came out of there, look at the description of it, look how it looked, and he punched the alien in the head. And then drug the body on, he walking in the same, dragging the alien.
That easy, huh?
That easy.
Yes,
No, but notice the image of these things are what you're reading. And those images of those flying beasts are the same beasts that, if you will, real quick, Zeb, hit me a Revelation 4 of them beasts. And let's see if Ezekiel and John the Revelator saw the same pilots. Revelation 4, real quick, y'all. We're going to get right back to this Enoch, 2nd Enoch 22. I just want to read Revelation 4 and that Ezekiel 1, 22 that we read. It should match up the same. It about verse 7.
Sure. Revelation chapter 4, verse 7.
Oh, you can start at 5. Yeah. Go down to 8.
Revelation chapter 4, verse 5. And out of the throne proceeded lightnings and thunderings and voices. And there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of Yahweh. And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal. And in the midst of the throne and round about the throne were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind.
Now when you go to Ezekiel 1:22, we're on the same topic. They're seeing the same things around the same heaven. When you get into this New Age doctrine, they got a whole different setup. And because you'll watch YouTube videos before standing fast in the scripture, you watch that second. That video must match this.
That's right.
Not this match the video.
Right. That's it.
Let's get some more. What else it says there?
And the first beast was like a lion. And the second beast like a calf. And the third beast had the face of a man. And the fourth beast was like a flying eagle. And the 4 beasts had each of them 6 wings about him, and they were full of eyes within. And they rest not day or and night, saying, Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, which was and is
Read that again.
which was and is to come.
And you can see that y'all read on down, these beasts give their honor and thanks, and then it talks about the 4 and 24 elders after that, but we see the same beasts.
Right.
Same beasts. Nothing changes in the Bible. It's consistent. When you allow a man to bring in outside books, it's going to change. It's going to change. And what they want you to do is to accept that change from the Bible. So now you chase bread that don't satisfy. This is consistent.
That's right.
It's consistent in the book that the Bible speak of you can use. The book of Jasher is consistent. The book of Enoch is consistent. But you get some other white man doctrine that used to be or that were Freemasonry, it's going to be different. And their whole objective is to make you see something different in the Bible. Then both of our books are damaged.
Right.
So we can be brethren
Right.
now. No, your book is damaged.
Right.
Right.
You take that damaged book and go on over there
Thank you.
with that damaged book.
Thank you.
That book don't have no judgment in it. This book got judgment. Enoch going through the heavens and see angels that's waiting on judgment.
Come on, he telling them.
When you bring this other book in here talking about ain't no judgment, you get to judge yourself.
You get to judge the Most High.
If that's the case, I'll be into a lot of stuff. I'm like, well, I'm going to do this and I ain't going to judge myself that way. I'm going to go over here and snatch that old lady purse just came out the bank, but I'm not going to judge myself as a thief and a robber. I'm going to judge myself as I'm Robin Hood. I'm going to take from her.
And give the poor.
I'm not going to give it to the poor. I'm going to give it to
Gonna call
myself.
himself the poor.
I'm gonna call myself the poor. Y'all understand how that makes you keep manipulating the Bible and you start to keep looking for errors and errors and errors because they introduce a book to you full of errors. It don't even agree with what they teach. It tells you can't do this. You can't have multiple women. Well, we got multiple women. You ain't even obeying your own book.
What?
And how the hell you gonna introduce it to me and you won't obey it? Do that make sense?
No, not so much.
Let's get some more. Where we at? That's cool. Let's get back to this 2nd Enoch 22. What that say? You may have to read that too, guys. You got it up.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it? Hold on. Nat may have it up. You got it, Nat?
Is it
2nd Enoch chapter 22.
It's the secret so you're not by mistake.
Same thing. It may call it second. What
We'll
you'll start off with?
On the
10th
10th
heaven.
heaven.
Yeah, that's what it starts off. That's it.
All right, 2nd Enoch chapter 22 verse 1.
Yeah.
And on the 10th heaven,
On the what level?
10th heaven,
Y'all see how many levels of heaven it is? 10 of them. Go ahead.
is that pronounced Erevoth?
Erevoth.
Erevoth?
Yeah.
Erevoth. I saw the view of the face of the Lord.
What did he see?
The view of the face of the Lord.
See, he's saying a view of it, just enough to let me know he's real.
Mine says appearance.
Appearance, same
Yeah,
thing. The
same
appearance, a view of it, just to let me know of what he looks like, so we don't get it mixed up. Go ahead.
Like iron made burning hot in a fire, and brought out, and it emits sparks, and is incandescent. I think that's how you pronounce it.
You close.
Thus even I saw the face of the Lord. But the face of the Lord is not to be talked about.
What is it?
Not to be talked about.
Y'all understand why people say if you see him, you're going to die? It's not to be talked about.
Enoch
Hey.
said that.
Huh?
Enoch said he ain't
Ain't
gonna
no
talk
need.
about
We ain't going to talk about that because somebody going to try to draw it.
it. Yeah.
And then it'll be when you get tired of it, you can't make no money off of it, then you're going to sell it to the pawn shop. And they'll have you have a ticket. Here you go, man. And you can get that picture of God out, you know, just give me $20 for the ticket. And you can go redeem it. You're redeeming an idol because we're not to make any images according to the big team.
That's right.
Make no image of heaven and earth. Make no likeness of his image. Go ahead.
It says, it is so marvelous. And
What is it?
marvelous and supremely awesome and supremely frightening. And who am I to give an account of the incomprehensible being of the Lord and of his face, so extremely strange and indescribable? And how many are his commands, and his multiple voice? And the Lord's throne, supremely great and not made by hand.
Not made by what?
Hand.
Uh-huh.
And the choir stars all around him, the cherubim and the seraphim armies, and their never silent singing.
See, and we just read that in Revelation 4. Ezekiel, Revelation 4 just said they sing what all day? Holy, holy, holy. Is Enoch saying the same thing? It's a choir. They don't stop singing. If that one brother, holy, well, I ain't gonna try. Zeb going, yeah, I'm gonna try. Holy, holy, you know, the boy Ron Canoe and the other boy, you know, so they understand what's sung up there.
That's right.
And they're singing it to the point that they're saying there's no blemish in him.
Thank you.
None. And if the Messiah is there and came from there, then how do you say he have a blemish?
Crazy.
You can't say holy, holy, holy. You have to say used to be holy, used to be holy. Well, used to was a rooster that can't crow no more. Don't care about what used to be. Let's get some more.
It says, who can give an account of his beautiful appearance?
Who can give an account? Go ahead.
Never changing and indescribable in his great glory. And I fell down flat and did obeisance to the Lord.
Yeah.
And the Lord with his own mouth said to me, be brave, Enoch.
Be what?
Be brave, Enoch.
Uh-huh.
Don't be frightened. Stand up and stand in front of my face forever. And Michael, the Lord's archangel, lifted me up and brought me in front of the face of the Lord.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord said to his servant, sounding them out, let Enoch join in and stand in front of my face forever. And the Lord's glorious ones did obeisance. Is that how you pronounce it?
Obeisance. Yeah.
And said, let Enoch yield in accordance with your word, O Lord. And the Lord said to Michael, go and extract Enoch from his earthly clothing.
What are you going to extract him from?
His earthly clothing.
Out of his corruptible flesh. Right. That's earthly clothing. It's flesh and blood. He got to come out of them clothes. Right. But just think you naked and your skin just transformed to incorruptible. That's all what happened. And look, you're just not everybody walking up there just naked. What he means is because everything we read, they got on white robes. We see he had on a robe. The Messiah got on a robe when we read about his girl. So it ain't naked from the flesh mind that we think of. Adam and Eve wasn't in no nudist colony. They just wasn't walking around. Everything was out there. Breasts out, everything. You think she was just walking around like that? They were both naked. That means they had no knowledge of the Most High on the supernatural level like that. He was trying them first. He had to try them first in their carnal, in their natural flesh to see would they worship or would they fall. That's why when you read 2 Enoch 30, if you get to that chapter, y'all read that on your own time. You see, Eve was created out of Adam to see if he would worship his flesh. Yeah. And he did. See, and that's why he said, she's bone of my bone. Right. Yes. And flesh of my flesh. Yes. So what did he worship?
Himself. That's right.
He worshiped his flesh.
I got a question.
Instead of the Most High. Go ahead, bro.
So look, my question is, you said they wasn't in the garden naked. But I read scripture where the Most High made them skins, animal skins, to put on when he sent them out.
Right.
And they covered themselves up because they knew they were shamed.
Well, it's saying he made them coats of skin. Okay. So what that means is to handle these elements that's out here. Okay. See, in the garden, you wear just linen, just white. Because it'll keep you from sweating, and that's what they wear in the kingdom. White, linen, white, and pure. Yes. But when you're out here in these elements, yes, you may have to put on a fur coat. Okay. You know, if you're in the Midwest in California, you may out as a jacket, but this skin had to be able to handle the different levels of the elements, but they torment you. Too much cold on this skin, you get frostbite. Yes. Adam never would have got frostbite if they hadn't seen. Too much sun, you get sunburn. Yes. They never would have experienced that. That's what he gave them until they come back to righteousness. Okay. See, I'm not going to give you what you had. And that's why they blocked the tree of life, because they would have entered into that realm with sin on them. Right. And that would have corrupted the kingdom. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So, but real quick, so you understand what Aaron did. Aaron made them naked. We'll get back to that. But when you see when Moses went up to get the mountain, and the children of Israel down there, it said Aaron made them naked to their shame. Did they have their clothes on? Yeah, they had their clothes on. They were into some foolishness, but he didn't build that golden calf and everybody just started throwing clothes off. That ain't making them naked. It was naked up here with no intelligence or understanding. While the Lord's under here, you just reversed the process when you just came out of Egypt. In Egypt, we're naked. What's happening here in America, men are naked up here because they don't know the word of God.
Yes,
I mean, you don't have the clothing of God.
Yes.
You understand? So you're naked without the clothes. That's why who told you naked? Who told you you ain't got no clothes on, no spiritual clothes on? That tree. He said, have you eaten? Go ahead, bro.
I'm sorry.
Where you at? Where you at now? Did you finish
Exodus
that?
32. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Exodus 32 he in. What we talking about? Go ahead, bro.
Alright, I'm starting in 21. It says, and Moses said unto Aaron, what did this people unto thee, that thou hast brought so great a sin upon them? And Aaron said, let not the anger of my Lord wax hot. Thou knowest the people that they are set on mischief. For they said unto me, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. And I said unto them, whosoever hath any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it me. Then I cast it into the fire, and there came out this calf. And when Moses saw that the people were naked, for Aaron had made them naked unto their shame among their enemies.
See, he pulled the drawers off of them. That's technically when you say, man, you got the drawers snatched off of them. Do anybody, Dr. John, do anybody actually, when they say, man, he got the drawers snatched out, do you actually just picture somebody, he just was standing there in a wife beater in his drawer, and somebody just snatched him off and he just standing there in a wife beater? Is that the image you get in your mind?
What if you get the brakes beat off?
Go get the brakes beat off you. What is that?
Well, you ain't got no brakes.
That's why you got to beat off.
He beat the brakes off of him. That means he beat all of his stopping power? What does that mean?
You basically were powerless.
Powerless, right. Go ahead, bro. What else is saying there?
Alright, this is this back in second book of Enoch, chapter 22. It says, and the Lord said to Michael, go and extract Enoch from his earthly clothing, and anoint him with my delightful oil, and put him into the clothes of my glory.
Put him into the what?
Clothes of my glory.
Into the clothes of his glory. See, so you always got clothes on.
Yes.
You ain't never just walking around like you in a steam room.
I didn't even think that was happening, but you know, the first man and woman, I kind of thought they were butt naked in that garden.
Everybody thinks that means that they were like children. They were just grown. They were born grown adults. Mm-hmm. I mean, children, but they were grown. They were born as adults, so to speak. So that still means they have the knowledge of a child. Like somebody coming to this walk. I came into this walk. I was 70 years old. Like Levi, he said I was 70. He's now 83. So for 70 years, he was technically naked. He had no understanding of this, but what Christianity taught. He had on the clothes of Christianity like we all wore. And we were technically naked to the Most High because we didn't have his clothes on. It's like Ezekiel 16 when he say, I did this, he said, then I covered you.
Yes, sir.
It's always a covering up. You're never just left to walk around like that. That's pedophilia. Because if children up there, that means grown people going to be walking around naked in front of children. That's what they do at the Pride Parade.
Right.
That's what the devil will allow. Children and adults mixing together. That's what he loves. So it's written in the Talmud, you can have your way with a little boy or a little girl as long as they ain't made it to 9 years old yet. And if you get them in their innocence, that will relieve you of all your sins. You'll be made pure again.
3 years old.
Killing a child, you rob his so that you can stay alive.
Right.
And that's what Aaron said. You know this people because when he threw all the gold in, he didn't form the calf. The calf jumped out of there. Because it's Molech. That's what was happening in Egypt. That's what they say, make us a god of Molech. Most High said, I give you what you want. I'll give you what you want.
Turn you over to your heart's desire.
That's it.
He sure will do
That's why Molech popped out of there.
it. Mm-hmm.
Let's get some more. Where you at now? You finished that? You good on the second Enoch?
Oh, you want me to read it?
No,
There should be 2 more verses.
okay, go ahead and read on up.
It says, and so Michael did just as the Lord had said to him. He anointed me and clothed me, and the appearance of that oil is greater than the greatest light, and its ointment is like sweet dew, and its fragrance myrrh. And it is like the rays of the glittering sun. And I looked at myself, and I had become like one of his glorious ones.
See who he had become like? One of the glorious ones, the 24 elders. See, he said, I'm just like an angel. So 1 Corinthians 15:51, when it say, look, we all trying, but we'll be made like the angels. That's what he was made like, the glorious one. Made like the angels. That's when his translation took place. You don't hear Ezekiel speak on those same terms. Let's get some more.
And there was no observable difference. And the Lord summoned one of his archangels. How you pronounce that? Archangels of Revraw. Is that how you pronounce it?
Crazy.
I didn't even look.
You sound close enough. Just sound
Take your
close
time
enough. Where
with
you
it,
at?
bro. Take slow roll.
Pre-ball, yeah.
Pre-ball?
Yeah,
Okay.
Slow roll.
Revraw
Sound
Yes,
close
by
enough.
name, who was swifter in wisdom than the other archangels, and who records all the Lord's deeds.
Pre-ball.
And the Lord said to Revraw, bring out the books from my storehouses, and fetch a pen for speed writing, and give it to Enoch, and read him the books.
I read this.
And Revraw hurried and brought me the books, a knife and ink, and he gave me the pen for speed writing from his hand.
Speed writing.
Yes, sir.
Enoch could write 70 books in no time. Pew!
Yeah.
Pew! Pew! You know, pew means
Fast.
beyond what we call fast. Pew!
Bullet fast.
Bullet fast.
Yes.
Faster than that. Pew!
Yeah.
When you say pew, everybody know I was gone. Look, it ain't no, well, what you doing, 40, 50 miles an hour? Oh, man, I said pew! They're like, oh, okay. Man, you faster than a race car. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
That was it.
That's the end of that. So give me regular Enoch 46. And we're talking about men who were called up to see the face of the Most High, or seeing him in a vision. Enoch just 46 and 1. And then we're going to go right to Daniel 7 and 9. We're going to speed through these a little bit. We're going to get right out of here. We're on good time, y'all.
Thank you.
Enoch 46 chapter. That's regular Enoch.
Yes, sir.
Enoch chapter 46, verse 1.
Yes, sir.
And there I saw one who had a head of days, and his head was white like wool.
What was his head? What? Like what?
Like wool.
Uh-huh.
And with him was another being whose countenance had the appearance of a man.
Uh-huh.
And his face was full of graciousness, like one of the holy angels. And I asked the angel, who went with me and showed me all the hidden things concerning that Son of Man,
Uh-huh.
who he was,
Right.
and whence he was.
See, so you see right here again, he described the Ancient of Days or the Head of Days.
Yeah.
See, the Father is ancient to day one.
Yes.
So look, we think about when we read Genesis 1 and 1, that was so long ago. Hell, that was only 6,000 to 12,000 years ago. He's ancient to that. He's ancient to what you know as a first day. And when you say somebody ancient, that means they look older than everything that's existing now. It's ancient. And he says hair was like wool.
Yes.
And what that means, it means complete righteousness. You're going to say, be careful out there. Complete righteousness. It's why men on the Supreme Court, George Washington always wore white woolly wigs.
Yeah.
It's because he was the father of what? This nation. Slow on now. Wasn't he the father of this nation?
Yeah.
And he's considered the first president, so he wears a white wig. And everybody on the Supreme Court wore a white wig like the 24 elders. They're saying we're the original establishment of this because what's done on heaven is imitated on earth. So George Washington is clear as the father of this nation, and that's where the white wigs come from, and they're woolly.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. They would.
So they're imitating what's up there, and they're bringing it down here to me, but they make themselves God. But he can't be a God because he's a God to Satan, because he was the first Freemason president.
He dead now, so.
Yeah, and Lucifer was a Freemason, so that's who his God was.
Yes.
Because just because you look like some, it's not just to look like some, because we keep reading that the Most High's face is terrible. So you picture anything evil terrible, but that's not the case. What it means is it's so powerful to look upon. It's like terror to you. It's like a pit bull don't even have to bark, but he can have that look,
Intimidating.
like how Elijah raised him and stuff like that. You be like, he's just terrible to look at, and you be just turned to the side. I don't want to look at that beast, even though the beast ain't growl at you or nothing. It's just terrible to look at.
You feel convicted.
But he's there for protection. You know, just like the Father say, it's terrible to look on that power and glory because you know what it brings forth. And you don't want no part of that.
Every time you look at him, yes, I did it.
Yeah.
Right. Conviction.
Yes, sir.
Conviction. Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Where we at? Enoch 46. Did we finish that? Her like wool? And it's talking about, y'all read Enoch 46 through the 48th chapter because it's talking about the Messiah up there.
Yes,
Enoch talking about the Messiah.
Yes.
This son of man who he was.
Yes.
Second Ezra in the Apocrypha, chapter 2, verse 38 gonna match up. To the letter when you read down, because Ezra got the vision. He said, who is this young man told everybody that they put crown, he passing out crown and white robes. Who is this? He said, it's the Son of God. See, so we're talking about consistency. Don't bring us no book that don't satisfy. That's not even satisfying you. Because if you were satisfied, you would quit eating out of this book.
Right.
But you keep coming back. You know, like eating out the pot, you know, and then you run back over here.
Don't taste right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. See, so that's the problem. You keep eating bread that don't satisfy. You can't get full with that, so you come back to substance, to fiber, to fulfillment, to try to get your full with bad doctrine. It's like you think I can eat a piece of lamb because I done swallowed down a pork chop. Ain't gonna work. Can't come over here and bite on no lamb and you keep eating that pork chop over there. It ain't gonna fix that pork chop. It ain't gonna overpower that pork chop. Not as long as you think I can keep eating pork chop and then I'll eat a piece of lamb here and there. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work for you to keep saying I'm God's and different things in them other books and then creep back in the Bible and name yourself after individuals in the Bible and think don't nobody see it. We see it.
We see you.
Clearly as a veil. Let's get some more. And look, we see with this eye, we see what you're doing because these can be fooled.
Right.
And I'm telling you how powerful this one is, because if you see somebody sleep and their eyes open, and you say they sleep with their eyes open, you can physically do this while it's not. You know why? Because these are flesh eyes. They're turned off. They're seeing what they're snoring about in that REM sleep, rapid eye movement, because the eyes is going back and forth like this. They're into that supernatural eye. That eye is single. It can be either full of light or full of darkness. But these two does not see when you're, because you can raise them up on some people. We used to do it.
That's right.
Just raise people's eyes up while they snoring.
Yes, sir.
Eyes wide open. People sleepwalk. Walk right to where they going, and then you have to tell them, oh, he just sleepwalking. He'd be like, shit, wait a minute. How's he walking like that and knowing where he's going? Go in the refrigerator, get a glass of water because that's their common routine. But if they crawl in the bed with a child, you wake them up quick, won't you? You wake up! Wake up! Sleep, you better go back in there. Wake up! You sleepwalking again.
Right.
But you don't allow that sleepwalking to get into wickedness, do you? Because the devil will fool them and say, you can crawl in the bed with that baby and people will think you just sleepwalk. They'll write it off. No, you won't. That's when you stop it, don't you?
Right.
So we have to stop it and other things.
Right.
The devil trying to set you up for
Yeah, he's trying to set you up. Go ahead.
a whooping.
Yeah, right. So y'all, what we at Daniel now? Y'all read the rest of that Enoch 46 through the 48th chapters, talk about the Father and the Son. Now let's get Daniel 7 and 9, because we got inside the Bible, we see this prophet servant in Babylon, he was a slave, and he had a vision. Let's see if he see the same thing. Daniel chapter 7 verse 9. And read on down and see if they match up. Consistency. It don't change. He said, I don't change. Did he ever say he changed? Lucifer is the one that changes because he tries to transform himself into an angel of light. And the only way he can make you think light, darkness has become light, is to give you the wants of your flesh. And he controls that. I'll give you whatever. I'll give you all the money you want. I'll give you whatever you need to satisfy your flesh. Just bow down to it.
Like to get about you.
Boy. Let's get it, y'all. Daniel 7 and 9.
Daniel chapter 7 verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down. And the Ancient of Days did sit.
Who did sit?
The Ancient of Days did sit. Whose garment was white as snow.
Y'all see the Most High got on the garment, right?
Yes, sir.
White as snow. Why would we be naked?
Right.
Go ahead.
And the hair of his head like the pure wool.
What is the hair of his head?
Like the pure wool.
Y'all see that pure wool again?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels were as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set.
What was set?
The judgment was set. And the books were opened. And beheld. I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame.
So Daniel is still saying Revelation 22 too. So he's saying a little bit of it. But John gets so clear with it, he's jumping through prophecy. Go ahead.
As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time.
Now let's watch that Enoch 46 match up with right here again. What does it say right here now, 13?
I saw in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion,
right,
which shall not pass away. And his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
So we see here again, the Son of Man been given power over all the planet Earth. Once again, just like we read, so he's a God. I don't care how you look at him, and that's worthy to be worshipped. Because he was given that power by the Most High. Daniel saw it. John the Revelator saw it. Ezekiel saw it. Enoch saw it. From Enoch 46 through 48 is talking about the Son of Man being sitting on the right hand of the Father. As far as Enoch could go was where them 24 elders was. Dress him out into righteous clothing right now. Dress him out, transform him. He gonna stay a little while. He'll be here a minute. So y'all understand what we're seeing. There's no room for a non-messianic not to see this. Do you know we had a non-messianic that didn't want to believe this? He said, this the only chapter in the Bible that I have a problem getting around. Wait a minute. You want to get around the Son of Man being on the right hand of the Father? Why would you want to get around that unless you want to believe there's no intercessor?
It's in your heart not to believe. That's
We
why
just
you're
read
trying to get
Isaiah.
around.
There was no intercessor in 59. His arm brought forth the Redeemer. His arm brought forth that. His right hand. This my right hand man. This who rides shotgun. Ain't that who you call your right hand man?
Yes, sir.
He's riding shotgun. What does shotgun do? Shotgun handle the work while you drive, don't it?
Yeah.
Hey,
You can't drive and shoot at the same time.
no.
The Father could, but why would he do all his own work? And I created beings.
Yeah, he a king. He
Yes,
got
sir.
runners. He got runners.
If you have 90 children for what? What are they coming to do?
Come on.
And you the only one still going to work? They grown 90 children. Daddy, what you, did you catch anything today? Yeah, boy, look. Let's get some more right. Okay, y'all, so we seen those two men. Now men who say they seen the face of God are a representative that you may have seen the face of God. Notice what Aaron said when he read that 32, it made him naked. He said, you notice people. He said, my Lord. Why would Aaron call Moses my Lord? Because he's in the image and his face is like God. My Lord, you know, because he see that power of God on him. But yet, he didn't take that to heart because in the wilderness, his sister started fat mouthing. God only talked to you.
Yeah.
I'm a prophetess too. And what's the first thing the Most High tell her? Why did you not respect who's coming in my name and who's looking just like me? What did he do that made you think he's not worthy to respect him? And I called him to talk to him. Tell me what about him, why you changed your mind? What is it? Are you jealous?
Right.
Oh, so you got the spirit of Satan on you, do you, Mary? I tell you what, it'll be as if your father spit in your face. You got to be put out for 7 days. See, a father was spit in his daughter's face. You pregnant. Where your husband? Where your husband? Oh, I ain't got him, Dad. It was a one-night stand.
One night.
Boom! Boom! Get out of here. Go to your room.
Stand away from me.
I can't get no dowry for you.
Stand out of my sight.
Right.
Who gonna marry you now?
We got another bill in the house.
Boy, look here.
Come on. I'll pay you on that.
Let's get some more. Where we at?
It makes sense.
Genesis 32 and 30. We're going to run through these one-liners, y'all. And these are not people seeing the face of God, but God's representative. Because he told you, even those in those levels, even the archangels say, we're not allowed to see his face. Not his true face until unrighteousness has been removed completely from earth and heaven. Then you can see his face. And we're going to end with that scripture so we get it clear. When you will be able to see, you say, that's Yah. That's Yah. You're going to say, yeah, Yah, it's me. It's me. But y'all handle y'all business down here. This is my footstool. I'm going back up. That's the only time. Other than that, he came down here. He don't come down here. He don't get off his throne for what? And I got servants to do it. Let's get some more. We in Genesis 32:30. We're going to read a couple quick ones, y'all. And this is when these men, these men who see God like that, they're made apostles. Remember the hierarchy, first apostles, then prophets, then teachers. So Enoch was a prophet, he elevated to an apostle because he had direct contact with supernatural. That makes you an apostle. Paul had that. All the disciples had that. They became the 12 apostles. They were the disciples. But they were followers of God, but then they followed him through the regeneration. They became apostles. That means we graduated. We summa cum laude.
Summa.
Yeah.
So, question. There's a difference between man today is calling themselves apostles and prophets. Today, in today's terms.
Now,
There's a whole bunch of
they can be still prophets today. We prophesy.
Right.
That's a gift. That's one of the gifts. One given the spirit of prophecy. No mean we have no new interpretation.
Right.
Like these books men keep reading, they told us some new prophets. The prophets were unto John. Everything else presseth into the kingdom. So John the Baptist introduced the Messiah to the world as the Lamb of God. So every prophet after that has a prophecy about him being the Son of God. If you outside of that realm, you're not in that prophecy. You understand what I'm saying? So we're prophets because we continue to prophesy what the prophet said about the second coming. That's why we do the gospel. That makes us prophets of God. Now he can still visit us and say, but the prophecies won't get outside of Revelation 22.
There.
Alpha and Omega. We cannot prophesy anything before or anything after. Then we become false prophets. So you understand? Because Anna, her father, was a prophet. Then you read in the book of Acts. They were after John, right? The book of Acts is after John, ain't it? So they were prophets, but they only prophesied like he was a prophet. He was told, a man gonna come to you. In 3 days you got to do this. Those are still prophecy. They're prophesied within that realm, inside Alpha and Omega, not outside. No new doctrine. The same thing is just to bring this individual to this form of righteousness, and I'm going to send you to a man that's going to break everything down for you. We still have to have them today because they're part of the assembly. 1 Corinthians 12:29 on down. They're part of that Godhead and that assembly to keep helping me and through with prophecy. And God will use them to get them to this point. Not outside of his realm, what's already been recorded as the end, because if you do, that make him a liar.
Correct.
You got something outside of Revelation 22. You got Revelation 23. Where you get that from? The Muslims say the Quran is Revelation 23. Because they say it's an extension of the Bible. This script say in Deuteronomy and Revelation, don't add or what?
Take away.
So how do you get Revelation 23? Or Genesis 0?
And
Let's get some more, y'all. Let's finish it on out while we got a good time. 32 and 30, Genesis.
The book of Genesis chapter 32, verse 30.
Uh-huh.
And
I tell you what, back it up to where we're at.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You gotta back that up.
24.
Yeah.
Or is that where we need to go?
Yeah, 24.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Genesis chapter 32, verse 24. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh. And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him.
Uh-huh.
And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me.
Uh-huh.
And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob.
Uh-huh.
And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel.
Uh-huh.
For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and hast prevailed.
So, as a prince thou hast power with God and with man and has prevailed. So, he's moved to an apostle now, the apostle Jacob. It's a supernatural intervention. He's wrestling with an angel and won't let him go. Not till you bless me. He's scrapping in his sleep. We didn't have scraps in our sleep, but it was iniquity trying to get away. That's the scrapping we do. Wake up tired and scared. You'd have crawled out of that window just in time, and an alarm clock woke you up when that man had that gun to your head, and you woke up just in time, scared to death now. You ain't prevailed though. So he prevailed, and the angel said, I got to get out of here before daybreak, before you wake up. That's all he said, out of the vision, before you wake up. And look, he's at Bethel. That's the same, or Mount Moriah, that's the same location where Abraham previously was going to sacrifice Isaac. That same portal. There's a portal that opened up that allowed them on that same exact spot, Mount Moriah. There's a portal opening there. And everywhere there's a portal, you'll always see men put a marker there. And Jacob put a stone there. And remember on the Mount of Transfiguration, we're going to hit that when Peter said, should we make 3 pillars? Should we mark these portals right here with 3? He said, no, don't do that. They servants like you. You didn't make a portal for yourself. Don't make that portal here. But y'all understand what I'm saying? There's graduation levels in this. When you go from a disciple to an apostle. and the Most High visit you, when the Holy Spirit come on you, that's what make you an apostle. Not because you go to Christianity and they check your bank statement and they hit the deacon, man, shit, he's making $200,000 a year. You an apostle.
You apostle.
Yeah. They ain't got no, if you ask them right now, what is an apostle? They actually, men go through this church, it don't matter what denomination you are, you go to a graduation ceremony to make you an apostle. What supernatural intervention have they had to be elevated?
I know somebody, their wife died and they got insurance, and all of a sudden they became a deacon.
Boy, look here. Yes, sir.
But then he said they still won't let me count the money though.
Boy, look here, it say they devour widows' houses. This is what he's saying. He died, they'll come in there and they say, well, look, he wore a 10.5 and sister, I wore a 10.5. No need to let these Stacys go to waste. They devour widow houses. Their husband had died.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
You know the way he used to wear that hat, cock the ace deuce. I believe I can wear it the same way, sister.
Yes.
And devour widows' houses. And not only that, but he's asking for 10% of that insurance money. Say,
Let me get some of that.
let me get some of that. First, see, that should go to
You're
the
really
church.
one with the Lord.
Right.
Go ahead. Where we at, y'all? Let's get caught up. Exodus 32:30. Did you finish that?
No.
Go ahead.
Verse 30.
Yeah.
Now verse 29. And Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel. For I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved.
See, his life is preserved, but he never wrestled with the Almighty, with the hair of wool. He wrestled with the angel, a representative that was in the form of God, because this angel was given power to say, hey, I'm going to change your name. Abraham's name was changed from Abram to Abraham. Sarai to Sarah. When the name changed, you're elevated. You understand what we're saying? To a new position. That's where you always see name change. Paul was changed from Saul of Tarsus to what? Paul the Apostle.
If you change your name as a Hebrew and you ain't changed.
You're right. Right. No.
You just got another name. You got another alias.
Let's go Numbers 12 and 8. No, I'm sorry. Exodus 33:11. Numbers 12 and 8. And we're going to run that list just like that, y'all. These will be a few one-liners, y'all, and then we're going to close on out, y'all, because we're on good time. But y'all read all these stories in between. We're just taking you right to the point that where people saw representatives of the Most High, and they said, well, God, I don't have Joshua 10:5, or is it 5:10, where he met the captain of the host of the Lord and took his shoes off.
Oh, that 9.
We started 9. Go ahead, where you at?
Exodus chapter 33, verse 9.
Yes, sir.
And it came to pass, as Moses entered into the tabernacle, the cloudy pillar descended and stood at the door of the tabernacle, and the Lord talked with Moses. And all the people saw the cloudy pillar stand at the tabernacle door, and all the people rose up and worshiped, every man in his tent door. And the Lord spake unto Moses face to face.
How did the Most High speak to him?
Unto Moses face to face, as a man speaketh unto his friend. And he turned again into the camp. But his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, the young man, departed not out of the tabernacle.
Go ahead.
And Moses said unto the Lord, see, thou sayest unto me, bring up this people, and thou hast not let me know whom thou wilt send with me. Yet thou hast said, I know thee by name, and thou hast also found grace in my sight.
Y'all see Moses talking about grace like Noah did? Grace ain't just showed up in the New Testament. Go ahead, read some more.
Verse 13. Now therefore, I pray thee, if I have found grace in thy sight, show me now thy way, that I may know thee, that I may find grace in thy sight, and consider that this nation is thy people. And he said, my presence shall go with thee, and I will give thee rest. And he said unto him, if thy presence go not with me, carry us not up hence. For wherein shall it be known here that I and thy people have found grace in thy sight? Is it not in that thou goest with us? So shall we be separated, I and thy people, from all the people that are on the face of the earth. Let me keep going.
Yeah, keep on going. We want to show to down to the end of that. Go ahead.
Right. And the Lord said unto Moses, I will do this thing also that thou hast spoken, for thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by name.
What do you know him by?
Name.
Uh-huh.
And he said, I beseech thee, show me thy glory. And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before thee. And I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy.
Uh-huh.
And he said, thou canst not see my face.
What can thou not see?
My face.
Uh-huh.
For there shall no man see me and live.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord said, behold, there is a place by me, and thou shalt stand upon a rock. And it shall come to pass while my glory passeth by, that I will put thee in a cleft of the rock, and will cover thee with my hand while I pass by. And I will take away my hand, and thou shalt see my back parts, but my face shall not be seen.
So he passed by, look, put you in the cleft of a rock and walk right past. You'll see this part of me, but you can't see my face. I had to put you down. You won't be able to tell it anyway. But the glory of the Lord is the Messiah.
Yes, sir.
The Father is the Messiah. The Messiah is the glory of the Father. Christ is the glory of man. Man is the glory of woman. Woman is the glory of children. Y'all understand the hierarchy? Mm-hmm. So every time the Father is talking about glory, he's talking about, I'm going to send my chief representative down there who looks just like me. But I don't want you to get this twisted, Moses. We're not going to have this because of what we just had with Aaron building that golden calf. So I'm going to put my hand over there, but you're going to see where supernatural is. You're going to see my glory who protects you. Mm-hmm. See, when you get into Isaiah 42, they like to start at verse 8 where it says, my glory I will not give to another. Mm-hmm. But if you read verse 42 and 1 through 8, you see who he's talking about. I'm not going to give it to nobody but him.
That's it.
I'm not going to give it to another. But if you start at verse 8, then it works. But if you start at verse 1, it don't.
It don't work.
Where we at? Let's get to Numbers 12 and 8. Start about verse 4. And y'all, and this is that example I was telling you about when Miriam lashed out at Moses because she's a prophetess. And I want y'all to understand that that's a woman prophet. You understand? Deborah was a prophet. So when they like women can't be prophets, but there's still a hierarchy. You don't leapfrog a man prophet. You don't usurp authority over a man prophet. Notice why she got punished and Aaron didn't. Yeah.
I'm looking it up. It said the elder sister of Moses. She was their older sister.
She was the older sister. She was the big sister. You understand? The big sister. Go ahead, what we got?
She thought she had some rank, man.
Boy, I thought she had fleshly rank.
Right.
Y'all my little brothers.
Come holler.
Hell, I was born before y'all. How y'all don't know God talking to me before y'all was even born?
Come on, man. You know how they get.
You want me to prophesy?
Moses, I say, come holler.
Well, right. Go ahead. Let's get the words.
Numbers chapter 12, verse 4.
Yeah.
And the Most High spake suddenly unto Moses, and unto Aaron, and unto Miriam, come out, ye three, unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out.
Uh-huh.
And the Most High came down in the pillar of the cloud,
Uh-huh.
and stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth.
Boy, you know they trembling at this point. Why didn't he call Moses? Go ahead.
And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Most High, will make myself known unto him in a vision.
In a what?
In a vision.
Uh-huh.
And will speak unto him in a dream.
Right.
My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth,
Uh-huh.
even apparently, and not in dark speaking.
Uh-huh.
And the similitude of the Most High shall he behold.
What is he beholding?
The similitude of the Most High.
See, he's like God, like Adam. Adam was over control of all of planet Earth. Over the birds, over the fowls, over the fish of the sea. How does he over the fish of the sea? I'm talking about like here. Like you Buffalo, get up here. I need a few of y'all to cook. Got some family members. You Jack Simon, get up here over the sea like that. No, what it means is he controlled everything on planet Earth. He made sure that the sea didn't eliminate catfish and nobody eliminated that so that you could have your good Jack Simon because they got to eat all the doo-doo up. He got to control the wilderness that where lions don't eat up all of this so you can't have that. You understand what I'm saying? Like in Florida, when people start dumping they pet boa constrictors, it overpopulated the Everglades. Now we got a snake that can release enough eggs to produce 100 pythons. So now they eat up everything, the boar hog, they eat up this that control that ecosystem. We're eating them all up and they get out of sync. That's what Adam was in charge of planet Earth, which made him a God on earth, or the son of God on earth. And the same thing we just read in Daniel 7 and 9, he gave the same power to the Messiah, didn't he? Dominion and glory. How do you accept Adam, who was a sinner, and you won't accept the Messiah, who the prophets wrote about and had no sin? Y'all see how crazy we is? Let's get some more of that there.
Wherefore then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of the Most High was kindled against them. And he departed. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle. And behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow.
So if she became white as snow, what color was she before? Let's get some more.
Aaron looked upon Miriam.
What'd he do?
And Aaron looked upon Miriam. And behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord.
The second time he didn't call him my Lord. See, he understands that similitude that Moses had on, because he called him Lord twice. When he came off the mountain, made him go, Alas, my Lord, they're crazy. You know these children of Israel, they are crazy, man. They made me do it. I didn't want to do it. They started threatening Aaron. You want some of this, Aaron? Get to making that golden calf. Or we gonna kill you. What does it say there?
And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolish.
What have we done?
Foolish. And wherein we have sinned.
See, what did he do right there? Did he do John 1:8, Ezekiel 18? Did he acknowledge his transgression? Not only that, but for Miriam, he said us. He didn't just say me, he said us. So even though she got it because she fat mouth. She said, oh, you the only prophet God got out there and I'm a prophetess. Aaron didn't go that hard. Right. But he prayed for her. Us. Yes. Don't do your big brother and your big sister. Right. I pray, I beseech you, don't take us out, bro. Go ahead, what does it say there?
Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed, when he cometh out of his mother's womb.
Y'all see that be as one dead, so we talk about a miscarriage. A miscarriage, if you have a miscarriage baby, the flesh is white. Because it ain't got to the point where its ears, like when you tell how dark a baby gonna be by the tips of their ears, if you have a miscarriage, the skin is gonna be almost like Caucasian type skin. Don't let her be as one when the flesh come out half consumed. It ain't been created all the way, so it ain't got its covering like it should. And that's what a leper is. It's technically that form of you ain't got the color of your nation, so to speak, or your tribal origins yet. So that's what he's saying. Don't let her be like that, as one that come out of the womb of a miscarriage. Let's get some more. What does it say?
And Moses cried unto the Most High, saying, Heal her now.
What did he say?
Heal her now, O Yahweh, I beseech thee. And the Lord said unto Moses, If her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days, and after that, let her be received in again. And Miriam was shut out from the camp 7 days, and the people journeyed not till Miriam was brought in again. And afterward the people removed from Hazarah and pitched in the wilderness of Paran.
Y'all see the trouble we was having in the wilderness? And why, for the life of me, people try to make the wilderness like it's a paradise?
They was going through it.
I don't
Like
see
that.
nowhere in here from the time we hit the wilderness up to the land of Canaan that we had what they talk about. And it was trees and it was plums so big and what the hell kind of wilderness are you looking at?
Right.
If you got all that in the wilderness, what are we going to the kingdom for?
Right. We can stay in the wilderness and hang out.
And hang out. But see, and then it was a war right after Miriam go. Now we got to fight this group, and we got to get through this group, and when we get to the land of Canaan. Amalek was punished because he wouldn't let us pass through. Man, you niggas go around. They don't come up through here. Gee, we heard what y'all did to Magician. Go around. You're like, okay, I'm gonna get y'all for that. What you got, D-Mom?
You know, Paran is that area right outside the wilderness. It's like in the cavern area, caverns and all that around that area. And to be able to be in a with the bats and stuff like that, I'm like, no.
You saying Haran or it's really Iran?
Paran.
Paran, all that's in those areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, all in that area like that, because you see a lot of Babylon is all up in that area, Paran all up in them different areas. But all those were just lands we were moving through to get to Canaan. We had to move from Egypt to Canaan. Egypt was like a 2.5 day journey, 3 day journey. Because when the Messiah then walked down from Jerusalem to Egypt, either that's a 12-day journey or a 7-day journey. A 7-day journey. Whatever it is, you can walk from Jerusalem to Egypt. We could walk. We didn't have no ships we had to go through. It was a journey though. So it was like being walking from here to Wentzville.
No more like Jeff City.
Jeff City, something like that. Yeah. Good walk. Good. You know, and I'm talking, that's how we had to move through each time. So we get to St. Charles and we got trouble. Miriam tripping St. Charles. So now we got to keep moving. We get to Wentzville, we got a war there. Then we get to St. Peter's, we got another scrap there. And we get to Boone County and they let us through.
Right.
But our journey is Jeff City, like he's saying. Y'all understand? That's fighting and scrapping all the way through, but you have to stand fast. You have to go through a test to get to the other side, or you can't have a testimony. Every tester must go through a testimony. You have to talk about why I struggled. If you just say, man, I was eating grapes all the way through. I had fat bananas. The baby's pampers was changed every day. You ain't had no trouble coming through the wilderness.
You was only eating that stuff in your mind.
Boy, look at it.
Right.
Let's get caught up, y'all. We ain't got but 15 minutes. Go eat. Where we at? Number 12 day, Judges 13:15. Y'all, we're going to run these one-liners, y'all. We're going to run them on out.
Say it again, what chapter?
Judges 13, verse 15. And these are representatives of the Most High to come in His name and His face. There's no reason to create nothing and you do all the work.
Right.
You have children or you having them and you still go to work and are everybody sitting at home? You creating a house of hobo men.
Right.
None of them go to work?
Right.
What they creating them for?
You don't work, you don't eat.
Boy, look here. Go ahead.
Plenty of work to do.
Judges 13. Judges chapter 13, verse 15.
Yes, sir.
And Manoah said unto the angel of the Lord, I pray thee, let us detain thee until we shall have made ready a kid for thee. And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, though thou detain me, I will not eat of thy bread. And if thou wilt offer a burnt offering, thou must offer it unto the Most High.
Yes, sir.
For Manoah knew not that he was an angel of the Most High. And Manoah said unto the angel of the Lord, what is thy name? That when thy saying come to pass, we may know thee, we may do thee honor. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, Why askest thou us after my name?
See, now it's the same thing Jacob was told, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Why you ask for a name? You want to prove that you talk to God? No, the work gonna show. You ain't got to say I talked to this individual. You ain't got to do it. All you got to do is prove the work. It's gonna testify of itself. So that was common knowledge. Angel would say, you don't need to know my name. Do you believe? Go eat.
Seeing it is in secret. So Manoah took a kid with a meat offering and offered it upon the rock unto the Most High. And the angel did wonders.
What did he do?
Wonders. And Manoah said, and his wife looked on. For it came to pass, when the flame went up toward heaven from off the altar, the angel of the Lord ascended in the flame of the altar. And Manoah and his wife looked on it, and fell on their faces to the ground. But the angel of the Lord did no more appear to Manoah and to his wife. Then Manoah knew that he was an angel of the Lord.
So Manoah, these are Samson's parents. So the angel came to them and tell them, you're going to conceive a son. Y'all go ahead and look, ain't no razor come on his head. He's number 6. He's a Nazarite. He has to follow number 6. Y'all make sure he follow number 6. And to make sure he don't get nothing bad in his sister, Manoah's wife, Samson's mama, you can't eat no grapes. You can't eat nothing. You can't feed him what he has to be free of. You can't put it in your system because it's going to go through that umbilical cord and get into him. So you got to take the vow of a Nazarite as well for this son to be born called Samson. For it to work. Go ahead. What else does it say there?
Come on
And
now.
Manoah said unto his wife, We shall surely die, because we have seen God. But his wife said unto him, If the Lord were pleased to kill us, he would not have received a burnt offering and a meat offering at our hand. Neither would he have shown us all these things, nor would as at this time have told us such things as these. And the woman bare a son.
What the woman do?
Bare a son, and called his name Samson. And the child grew, and the Lord blessed him. And the Spirit of the Lord began to move him at times in the camp of Dan, between Zorah and Eshtaol.
Now, look, the heathens only a show on their channel. The only black tribe they ever show is the tribe of Dan. Dan was so wicked, Dan is not mentioned in the 144,000 in Revelation 7 and 44. Revelation 7 and Revelation 14. Dan is the only tribe not mentioned of the 144,000. But he's mentioned in Revelation 20 and 21 on the gates. He still have his lot. Ezekiel 48, Dan still have his plot. But whatever Dan got wicked as hell. Dan was on Mount Hermon. But this is what I want y'all to understand. The only tribe that these heathens will show you as black, they'll always show Samson as black. Because they can't be at 144,000, he's saying, all you niggas is really the tribe of Dan because y'all were cast out of the 144. Dan is not the 144, but they have their gate. Right. And to the gate of Dan on the south, he has a gate. Ezekiel 48 say Dan has a gate. But he don't have nobody representative for 144. And all the tribes are white except Dan. And they make Samson a brother. Y'all understand what I'm saying? With dreadlocks. So you them curse niggas. You them Danites. You don't have a place in the 144,000. What you got, bro?
No, you're right. I went to Branson one time. I seen a plate.
Yes.
Samson down there. It was a nice plate. They had Samson black, but he had locks too.
Boy, look at that. See, well, who was the rest of the brothers?
They was like on the tribe. They wasn't black like that.
That's all I'm saying. Right. See, because that was a curse put on them. And when you ain't in the 144,000, people ask, where is Dan in the 144,000? They're righteous men. There's no guile in their mouth. They have never been defiled by women. Why do they then put Dan on us? And we say we Judah.
So that's why they always say we're cursed.
Yeah. Yeah. You ain't in the 144,000. Y'all Dan, y'all got dreadlocks, don't you?
So why don't they say the same thing about Benjamin?
Well, they could, but Benjamin is in His representation is in the 144. So they, whatever happened, they recovered, or whatever Dan did at the base of Mount Hermon. Dan was at the base of Mount Hermon where the fallen angels come. That's what Dan did most of his dirt at the base of Mount Hermon. Benjamin wasn't at Mount Hermon. Dan was. Mount Hermon is when you see Paramount, the movie, and they show a mountain, and then they show stars go around it.
Sir.
That's where the fallen angels came to. Those are the stars of heaven that came to Mount Hermon, to the base of Mount Hermon. And guess what's sitting right there now at the base of Mount Hermon? NATO base. All you gotta do is NATO at base of Mount Hermon. You gonna be stuck? Let's finish this on out, y'all. We got about 2 minutes. And we got 10 scriptures. Go ahead. We're going to, we're gonna go, give me Hebrews 1, because we talk about the Messiah and the image. Y'all, we're gonna close out. We just do the one line. Hebrews 1, and just read the description of the Messiah and how he was made. Then we're gonna jump right to that order right here. To this order, y'all. We're gonna close out. We ain't got but a few. Hebrews 1, go ahead now.
All right, Hebrews chapter 1.
Yeah, we ain't gonna go all. We just gonna get what we need to. Maybe the first 3.
Okay, yeah. Hebrews chapter 1, verse 1.
Yes, sir.
God, who at sundry times and in divers manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son.
Who he speak to us by now?
By his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the world.
So is Paul making Christ a God, or is Paul repeating what Daniel said in Daniel 9 and 7? Same words, ain't it? Go ahead.
Who being the brightness of his glory and the express image of his person.
So read that again. Who is the what?
Brightness of his glory.
See, he's the brightness of the Most High's glory. So when you read Isaiah 42, 1 through 8, don't start at verse 8. And when we read that when Moses passed by, you should see my glory. So you're going to see Christ in his form that where you're going to bow down to him. But I can't let you even see his face. Let's get some more.
Who is the brightness of his glory and the express image of his person, and upholding all things by the power of his word, when he had by himself purged our sins, sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high. Keep going.
Yeah, just down to verse 5.
Being made so much better than the angels.
What was he made? What?
So much better than the angels, as he hath by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. For unto which of the angels said he at any time, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. And again, I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son.
See, y'all can hold that. See, ain't no names mentioned. He didn't say, and his name should be called this. Christ ain't never said no name of his father. He just said my father. And has the father ever called his name, his Hebrew name, or did he just say my son? That's it. That's all need to be said, because we need to look at the work. And offspring don't make you just like your dad. It's wicked offsprings, ain't it? Where we at now?
Luke 24.
Luke 24. We ain't gonna read all of that. We're gonna tell you, read Luke 24, 34 to 53. We just gonna read 34. Luke 24 and 24. For time's sake, y'all.
Luke 24 and 34.
Is that what I got? Yeah, 34, 24 and 34. I'm sorry now. Go ahead, bro.
All right, Luke chapter 24, verse 34.
Hold on, here's a few pages here. Go ahead, bro.
It says, saying, The Lord is risen indeed, and hath appeared to Simon. And they told what things were done in the way, and how he was known of them in breaking of bread. And as they thus spake, Jesus himself stood in the midst of them.
And this is after he had resurrected, been to the Father, and now he back on earth. Go ahead.
And said unto them, Peace be unto you.
What did he say?
Peace be unto you. But they were terrified and affrighted.
What were they?
Terrified and affrighted.
Of seeing the Messiah? They used to walk with him. Why were they terrified and affrighted? Let's read. Go ahead.
And suppose that they had seen a spirit.
And suppose that they had seen a spirit. Go ahead.
And he said unto them, why are ye troubled? And why do thoughts arise in your heart? Behold my hand.
What did he say?
Behold my hand. And my feet.
And my feet.
That it is I myself. Handle me.
Do what?
Handle me. And see. For a spirit hath not flesh and bones as ye see me have.
See, so there's a difference in spirits that the giants left, and they say the flesh died out, but the spirits crossed over in the water. The spirits, that's what used to attack Saul and make him attack David. And Saul had to, and David had to play that harp, and it drove the spirits away. But spirits don't have flesh. Demons, they will manifest full flesh. But the spirit is the thought process of wickedness. It just come and whisper in your ear. Look at that nigga want to be king and got your son chasing them Johnson. He trying to be you. You better kill that nigga right now. Kill that nigga. That thought come in your mind. Ain't no entity around when you think bad thoughts, is it? You have to drive that thought out of your mind, don't you? You broke, man. Do you think you can run up in that Dollar General there? You never paying attention. Ain't never at the cash register. Just ask them to take you back there and show you where the bleach at, and then run up there and get in that drawer. An evil thought will do that. What's gonna happen when they do that? You're gonna trip and break your kneecap going out the door. And the evil spirit gonna tell you what you're gonna do now. Pew. That's how fast they be gone. First 48, don't them demons go pew? Because they crying in there. They back to children. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't want nobody to get killed, and just say we were just gonna scare them and just take the reefer and leave. Why do they come back? Guess what? Because that evil spirit. Pew!
Right. He gone now. He did his job.
Let's get some more. And see, this is the difference in when we talk about spirit and soul and that. Spirits are thought processes, they're intuitions. That's why the Messiah say, handle me. I'm not a spirit like that. I'm physical. I'm a physical spirit. I'm just not flesh and blood. I'm spirit and blood. You understand? Or I'm fleshly supernatural. I'm the supernatural flesh. You know, because there's flesh celestial and flesh terrestrial. He said, I'm now flesh celestial, but I'm the same, bro. Handle me. It ain't gonna be like y'all gonna be in the kingdom and Casper the ghost is everywhere. We'll see people, we'll be able to touch people, we'll be able to do anything like that in the kingdom, but we're just supernatural. Do that make sense? Yes, sir. Let's get a couple more, we're gonna close on out of here. We may have to get some homework. You got to get that Matthew 14:26, just one. Y'all, we're gonna run these one-liners, we're gonna close on out. Matthew 14:26. Let's get that.
All right, Matthew chapter 14, verse 26. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea.
What they see him doing?
Walking on the sea. That were troubled, saying, it is a spirit.
What did they say it was?
It is a spirit. And they cried out for fear. But straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, be of a good cheer. It is I, be not afraid.
And then what Peter say?
And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, come.
He said, you finna be preternatural.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna elevate you. You'll be able to walk this too. Go ahead.
And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me.
And the wind got boisterous. Who caused the wind to be boisterous? See, Satan has control over winds, too. Because that was Satan that controlled the tornado that tore down Job's house and killed all his children. The Lord didn't do that. Satan has control of winds, too. He can stir up some stuff. On this level, though, only on this level, he can't do F5. That's why they can call it Mother Nature. Tornadoes 1 through 4. It's Mother Nature, or it may be this, but I don't care what movie you watch. When they say number 5, who do they give the glory to? They say that's the Most High. Ain't nothing we can do with this. This may be a little god over here, or this may be who we call him Thor, or some demons kicking up some dust over here. But when it annihilates and it takes total destruction, they say that's the hand of God.
Yes, sir.
And that's when the insurance company say what?
We don't
We
cover
can't-
accident.
They know.
We ain't gonna cut this
We don't
check.
cover earth moving, water
No tax of
moving.
God.
We don't cover none of that.
Right.
So go ahead down 31, he said.
Verse 31. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt?
What did you doubt for? If I'm on it, why you doubt? You think I'm gonna have you come to me and you gonna drown? Come on, Pete, give me a hand. Get on out of that. But see, notice Pete is always the first one to ever try anything. That's why the Lord still took him, because he just tried to get Peter's flesh as tough, and get his consciousness and his soul as tough as Peter was in the flesh. Because remember, Peter cut off that servant's arm. But then when it came down to the soul tie, you was with it. You was with it. No, it wasn't. See, he had to get past that because he had told him, Satan gonna sift you like wheat. I have to pray for you, Peter. He wants you because the other disciples look up to you.
Right.
He gotta get you. If he gets you, they are done. They're through peace. So he's like, Peter, why you keep down? It's me. I never leave you like that.
Right.
I will never, ever leave you like that. Give me your hand. Come on up out of that. What we got next? John 4:23, just that one. Y'all, we just gonna do these one-liners. We're gonna close on out. John 4:23. See, there's an hour coming. We got to get out of trying to worship him in the flesh. What'd that say?
John chapter 4, verse 23.
Uh-huh.
But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth.
Read that verse again when it says true worshipers. Y'all, we got a lot of fake worshipers out here. Read that again.
But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth.
Uh-huh.
For the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
And the reason we went to them seeing Christ and they thought he was a spirit, that don't mean that he's invisible like that. What it means is that the power is still that individual, but there's celestial flesh. And you have to worship him in spirit in that celestial flesh. You can't worship him in terrestrial with that mindset that you expect God to have some imperfection. You can't.
Right.
So you have to worship him in spiritual. Well, the true worshipers understand that we see him as he is. But let's read some more. Y'all read that on out. Where we at?
John 4:23.
No, we got that.
Oh, we got that.
John 14:8.
Yeah.
Yeah, just right there. Just hit that John 14:8. Move right on up to John 14:8. We're going to speed this on up.
All right, John chapter 14, verse 8. Philip said unto him, Lord, show us the Father.
What did Philip ask him?
Show us the Father, and it sufficeth us.
And we'll believe that there's a God. Go ahead.
Jesus said unto him, Have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that hath seen me hath seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, Show us the Father? Believest thou that I am in the Father, and the Father?
That not.
Believest thou not that I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me, he doth the work. Believe in me, believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very work's sake.
See, or believe me for the very work's sake. Look, you ain't got to believe what I'm saying. Just watch what I do. Will the devil do what I'm doing? That's just about me. I don't care what you think about me. Will the devil do what I'm doing? Y'all understand? So when you see the work that I do, I'm doing what your Father promised he would do, and that's to heal you and cure you of all diseases. That's what the Father said. So he coming in the name of the Father. Don't just listen to my name. Look at what I do. Let's get to the next one. Where we at?
Matthew 17.
Matthew 17. Just yeah, that's just transfiguration. 18:10. We're gonna miss that Nicodemus.
What about that revelation?
And
Revelation 13.
because bro wanted to get in there, I push wanted a little bit of that Nicodemus, but we're gonna have to pass on. But I push, if you will, get into the 8th chapter, 9th chapter of Nicodemus, and then get into the 22nd chapter. And what that does is talk about the resurrected souls that resurrected when Christ resurrected.
Mm-hmm.
This breaks down those individuals that rose up, and then it'll tell you they went on to heaven, because you can't die twice under this sun.
Right.
So they elevated. It talks about Lazarus. So you want to get into that. And also our Rodney out there in Minnesota. Our Rodney, we praying with you, bro. We know it's tough out there. You alone, but don't worry about it, man. Prayer is a powerful thing. We got your eye, and we hope this lesson was powerful for you today to build your strength up. But go ahead, what we got?
All right, Matthew chapter 17, verse 1.
Yeah.
And after 6 days, Jesus taketh Peter, James, and John his brother, and bringeth them up into a high mountain apart.
Right.
And was transfigured before them.
What was he?
Transfigured before them.
And
And his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elijah, talking with him. Then answered Peter and said unto Jesus, Lord, is it good for us to be here? If thou wilt, let us make here 3 tabernacles. One for thee, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them. And behold, a voice out of the cloud which said, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him.
So he said, listen to him. Don't worry about Moses and Elijah.
Right.
They hear him now. That's why I brought them here. So you know who trumps Moses and Elijah.
Elias.
It's a translation.
Same thing for Elijah. So this, he trumps them. No pillars for them. They were under the order of Aaron, so to speak. Aaron decreased, he increased. You don't make 3 pillars. Both these prophets, notice Enoch wasn't there. Because Moses and Elijah had trouble on earth. Enoch didn't. Y'all understand? That's what I was saying, the difference in why I keep saying Enoch was translated. And he was moved to that level. Moses' body went and got by Michael the archangel in the book of Jude. He came and got Moses' body. So, and Ezekiel and Moses and Ezekiel is in the same level, on 3rd level. You understand what I'm saying? So they showed up, and that's why he said, you can't look to them. Look to one that's greater than them. So what we got next? We got about 2 or 3 more, y'all. Matthew 18:10. One line.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 10. Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you, that in heaven,
That in where?
That in heaven, their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven.
See, their angels, children of innocence, have an angel, guardian angel. If they be put to death by like Herod and what they did, they still have an angel that behold the face, and he'll go back and tell God, yeah, they owe for them. They owe for them. So it ain't like they got away with nothing, y'all. That's why the spirits under the altar, Abel and all them, how long, Lord, before you judge them on the earth for what they did? He said, I got them, I'm going to give y'all white robes and put them back to sleep. White robes, so they won't wake up naked. You understand what I'm saying? So what we had on that next one? Y'all read that on out.
Revelation 13.
Yeah, no, well, okay, y'all, this is, now, this is homework. Because the beast is an imitator. So he's going to imitate everything we just read, the images of the Father and people who work for the image of Satan. Revelation 13 chapter, Revelation 16 chapter, and Daniel the 2nd chapter talks about iron and miry clay and that image of the beast. So I want y'all to see what we just read versus what Satan finna produce. And everything he produces is going to be under the heaven.
What was that other chapter? Revelation 13, 16, and what?
Revelation 13, Revelation chapter 16, and Daniel chapter 2. Especially around 2 and 34, and that area, all chapter 2. And we're going to close out, y'all, with Revelation 22. We're just going to read that, y'all. We're going to close on out. Just going to read 22, 1 through 7, and we close out.
All right, Revelation chapter 22, verse 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life.
What kind of water?
Water of life.
What kind of water though?
Light.
Pure river.
Pure water, that's what I'm trying to get you to. Go ahead.
Clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb.
Uh-huh.
In the midst of the street of it, and of either side of the river, was there the tree of life,
Uh-huh.
which bare 12 manner of fruit, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nation.
Uh-huh.
And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of God and of the Lamb shall be in it,
Mm-hmm.
and his servants shall serve him. And they shall see his face.
What shall they do?
See his face.
Uh-huh.
And his name shall be in their forehead.
Uh-huh.
And there shall be no night there.
Under that firmament. Go ahead.
And they need no candle,
Uh-huh.
neither light of the sun.
Uh-huh.
For the Lord God giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever.
Because the sun was created as an alternative light to shine light on the earth. It don't shine light in the heavens or in sacred places because artificial can't be there. And I'm not saying the sun is like artificial, but it's not the true light. I'm talking about the light from Genesis 1:1 to day 4. This is the light it's talking about. The sun and moon weren't created till the 4th day. This is the light. Go ahead, what else you say? Down to verse 7, we're going to close on that.
Verse 6. And he said unto me, these sayings are faithful and true.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord God of the holy prophets sent his angel to show unto his servants the things which must shortly be done. Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book.
Uh-huh. So blessed are they that keep the prophecy of this book. So that's what you have to repeat, the prophecies of the book. You can't go outside the book. You can't add to this book. If you find a prophecy in some other book that say you can create your own judgment day, throw that book away. Let's close out, y'all. Any questions or concerns out there too bad?
So far, so good. It's an excellent class.
Hope that led to some understanding. Once again, y'all, we ask y'all to continue to pray for our sick and shut in, y'all. And pray for our family over there in Jerusalem, y'all, because they having war.
Yes, sir.
And just think, if you went over there to visit, you can't leave. Ben Gurion Airport is shut down. You're going to have to stay over there until they open the airport back up. See, so you have to be careful when you let somebody lure you and talk about fleeing. I'm not saying you can't go over there, but you have to understand Matthew 24 say, if you be in Judea, what you supposed to do? Flee to the mountain. So you got to flee even if you over there. Let's close out, y'all. Yes, sir.
Psalms 93, with the Most High's permission, in the name of his only begotten Son.
Yes, sir.
The Lord reigneth.
Yes, sir.
He is clothed with majesty.
Yes.
The Elohim is clothed with strength,
Yes.
wherewith he hath girded himself. The world also is established,
Yes.
that it cannot be moved.
Yes.
Thy throne is established of old. Thou art from everlasting. The floods have lifted up.
Yes.
O Elohim, the floods have lifted up their voice. The floods lift up their waves. The Elohim on high is mightier than the noise of many waters. Yea, than the mighty waves of the sea. Thy testimonies are very sure. Holiness becometh thine house.
Yes, sir.
O Elohim, forever.
Yes, sir.
Hallelujah!
Selah! Appreciate it, y'all. God got a shepherd. Truly appreciate it. Thank you, Worldwide Family, for y'all continued support of the radio station and the ministry. I hope all y'all tabernacles went well.